Imagine a world cloaked in shadows, where stories of ancient battles between light and darkness echo through time. In the vast tapestry of human mythology, few tales grip the soul like those of demons in Judeo-Christian tradition. These entities, born from the darkest corners of belief, embody fears and challenges that transcend mere mortal existence. In this realm of storytelling, demons are more than mere antagonists. They are manifestations of humanity's deepest anxieties and moral quandaries. Their origins trace back to primordial chaos, where the clash between divine order and infernal chaos birthed beings both terrifying and captivating. Each demon, with its own malevolent allure, represents a facet of human nature pushed to its extremes. The allure begins with Lucifer, the fallen angel whose rebellion against heaven sparked a cosmic war. Once radiant and favored among celestial beings, Lucifer's pride and desire for supremacy led to his catastrophic fall from grace. Cast down from the heavens, he became Satan, the adversary, eternally at odds with the divine plan. His story embodies the tragic descent from glory to abyss, a cautionary tale of ambition unchecked and the consequences of defying divine authority. Alongside Satan, a legion of demons emerged, entities like Beelzebub, known as the Lord of Flies, embodying decay and corruption. Asmodeus, the demon of lust, tempts mortals with desires that corrupt the soul. Mammon, the demon of greed, whispers promises of wealth that ensnare even the most steadfast hearts. These malevolent beings, each with its own specialty and vice, haunt the moral landscape of humanity, exploiting weaknesses and testing resolve. Yet, not all demons embody moral failings. Some reflect fears of the unknown and the supernatural. The Lilith, a demonic figure often depicted as a seducer of men and killer of infants, embodies fears of female sexuality and autonomy. The jinn, originating from Arabic folklore but adopted into Judeo-Christian tales, represent powerful spirits capable of granting wishes or wreaking havoc, a reminder that power, even in benevolent form, can be dangerous. The encounters with demons in Judeo-Christian lore are often visceral and chilling. Tales of exorcisms, where priests confront possessed individuals writhing in unearthly torment, showcase the battle between faith and malevolence. These stories evoke primal fears of losing control to unseen forces and the desperate struggle to reclaim one's soul from the clutches of darkness. The presence of demons extends beyond individual struggles to encompass societal fears and collective trauma. The Book of Revelation paints a vivid apocalyptic landscape where demonic hordes unleash chaos upon the world. In these visions, demons symbolize the ultimate test of faith and resilience, challenging humanity to confront its capacity for evil and redemption. Throughout history, the depiction of demons has evolved, reflecting shifts in cultural fears and theological interpretations. Medieval manuscripts depict grotesque demons tormenting sinners in hell, while Renaissance art portrays them as seductive tempters luring saints astray. Modern interpretations in literature and cinema continue to explore the psychological depths of demonic influence, blending horror with introspection. The enduring fascination with demons lies not only in their ability to evoke fear, but also in their role as mirrors of human frailty and resilience. They compel us to confront our darkest impulses and question the nature of evil itself. In their shadows, we find the crucible of moral choice and the potential for spiritual transformation. In conclusion, the realm of demons in Judeo-Christian tradition offers a haunting reflection of humanity's eternal struggle with sin, temptation, and the pursuit of redemption. Through stories that chill the soul and provoke introspection, these entities continue to captivate and unsettle, reminding us that the battle between light and darkness is a timeless narrative woven into the fabric of human existence. In the tapestry of human understanding, few threads are as hauntingly intricate as the study of demonic figures in Judeo-Christian tradition. These ancient beings, steeped in myth and fear, hold a mirror to our deepest anxieties and moral dilemmas. Understanding their significance transcends mere curiosity. It touches upon fundamental aspects of human nature, spirituality, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Imagine a world where darkness prowls at the edges of light, where unseen forces whisper temptations and test the boundaries of faith. Demonic figures embody this shadowy realm, serving as cautionary tales and archetypal warnings against succumbing to base desires and moral decay. At the heart of this understanding lies Lucifer, the epitome of rebellion and fallen glory. Once the favored angel, Lucifer's pride and ambition led to his catastrophic fall from grace. His transformation into Satan, the adversary of divine order, represents the timeless struggle between arrogance and humility, between defiance and obedience. His story reminds us of the seductive allure of power and the perilous path of disobedience. The importance of understanding demonic figures extends beyond theological discourse into the realm of personal introspection and moral guidance. These entities personify human vices and weaknesses, offering stark reminders of the consequences of unchecked desires and moral compromise. In stories of demonic possession and temptation, we confront our own vulnerabilities and the precarious nature of spiritual warfare. Consider Beelzebub, often depicted as the Lord of Flies, a symbol of decay and corruption. His presence reminds us of the insidious nature of sin, how small transgressions can lead to moral decay and spiritual ruin. Asmodeus, the demon of lust, embodies the allure of carnal pleasures that ensnare the soul, blinding us to higher virtues and spiritual fulfillment. The importance of these figures lies not only in their ability to evoke fear, but also in their capacity to inspire moral reflection and spiritual growth. In confronting demons, whether in ancient texts or contemporary narratives, we confront our own shadows, the hidden impulses and desires that threaten to lead us astray. The relevance of understanding demonic figures is also evident in their cultural and psychological impact. Throughout history, these entities have shaped literature, art, and popular culture, becoming symbols of horror and temptation. Their portrayal in films and literature serves as a cathartic exploration of human fears and the eternal battle between light and darkness. Moreover, demons serve as allegorical guides through the moral landscape of human existence. In tales of temptation and redemption, they challenge protagonists to confront their weaknesses and make choices that define their spiritual journey. These narratives resonate with universal themes of resilience, repentance, and the pursuit of grace, a testament to the enduring power of storytelling to illuminate the human condition. In contemporary discourse, the study of demonic figures continues to provoke philosophical inquiry and ethical debate. Questions about the nature of evil, free will, and divine justice find expression in discussions about these ancient adversaries. By understanding demons, we confront existential questions about the meaning of suffering, the nature of sin, and the possibility of redemption. Ultimately, the importance of understanding demonic figures lies in their role as symbols of moral reckoning and spiritual transformation. They challenge us to examine our own choices and confront the consequences of moral compromise. Through their tales of temptation and redemption, we discover profound truths about human resilience, the power of faith, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, the study of demonic figures in Judeo-Christian tradition offers a profound exploration of human fears, moral dilemmas, and spiritual truths. Through their chilling narratives and allegorical significance, these entities compel us to confront our own shadows and strive for moral clarity and spiritual resilience. In the celestial realms, where light and darkness converge, the origins of Lucifer weave a tale of beauty and betrayal that echoes through eternity. His story, rooted in theological and mythological contexts, transcends mere legend to become a profound exploration of pride, ambition, and the consequences of defying divine authority. Imagine a time before time, when the heavens shimmered with the radiance of angelic beings. Among them, Lucifer stood as a pinnacle of perfection, a seraphim adorned with unparalleled beauty and wisdom. His presence commanded awe, and his voice resonated like celestial music, stirring the hearts of all who beheld him. Yet, within this brilliance lurked a seed of discontent, a whisper of ambition that would alter the course of celestial history. Lucifer's tale begins with his exalted position among the heavenly host. As a cherub of the highest order, he stood in proximity to the divine throne, basking in the glory of his Creator's favor. His wisdom surpassed that of his angelic brethren, and his beauty rivaled the shimmering stars. Yet, Amidst the celestial harmony, a desire began to stir, a longing for recognition and power that surpassed even his appointed station. The mythological context of Lucifer's origin intertwines with theological narratives of pride and rebellion. According to Christian tradition, Lucifer's fall from grace stemmed from his refusal to accept his subordinate role in the divine hierarchy. Fueled by pride and a thirst for autonomy, he sought to ascend above his station, aspiring to usurp the authority of God himself. The theological implications of Lucifer's rebellion reverberate through Judeo-Christian teachings, serving as a cautionary tale against the dangers of hubris and disobedience. His defiance marked the onset of cosmic upheaval, as he rallied a third of the heavenly host in a futile bid for supremacy. The ensuing conflict, recounted in apocryphal texts and theological treatises, depicts a celestial war that shattered the tranquility of the heavens and forever altered the destiny of angelic beings. Lucifer's fall from grace was not merely a descent from celestial heights, it embodied a profound spiritual and moral transformation. Once radiant with divine light, he became Satan, the adversary, a malevolent force opposed to the divine plan and the embodiment of cosmic discord. His rebellion serves as a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition and the consequences of challenging divine authority. In mythological interpretations, Lucifer's story resonates with themes of tragedy and moral ambiguity. He is portrayed not merely as a malevolent entity but as a tragic figure whose downfall stemmed from his own inner turmoil and flawed aspirations. His journey from celestial glory to infernal damnation embodies the eternal struggle between pride and humility, ambition and humility. The emotional resonance of Lucifer's origin lies in its exploration of universal themes of pride, betrayal, and the longing for autonomy that resonate with the human experience. His story invites introspection into the nature of free will and the moral complexities of choice. It challenges us to consider the consequences of our actions and the fragility of divine grace. Through Lucifer's fall, we confront the unsettling reality of moral ambiguity and the allure of forbidden knowledge. His rebellion casts a shadow over the cosmic order, serving as a reminder of the fragility of divine harmony and the enduring power of temptation. In his tragic transformation, we see echoes of our own struggles with pride and the consequences of yielding to base desires. The theological and mythological contexts of Lucifer's origins continue to captivate and unsettle, inviting theological inquiry and philosophical reflection. They challenge us to grapple with profound questions about the nature of good and evil, the limits of divine justice, and the complexities of moral accountability. Through his story, we are compelled to confront our own vulnerabilities and the eternal battle between light and darkness within the human soul. In conclusion, the origins of Lucifer in theological and mythological contexts offer a poignant exploration of pride, rebellion, and the consequences of defying divine authority. His tale, steeped in tragedy and moral complexity, resonates with universal themes that continue to provoke contemplation and introspection. Through his fall from grace, we confront the timeless struggle between hubris and humility, ambition and obedience, a struggle that echoes through celestial realms and the depths of the human experience alike. In the ancient texts of the Bible, amidst verses that illuminate the divine and offer solace to the troubled soul, lies a narrative that transcends time, a tale of Lucifer's fall from grace. This biblical account, woven with threads of tragedy and moral consequence, unfolds as a cautionary tale of pride, rebellion, and the enduring battle between light and darkness. Picture a realm where celestial beings tread amidst the splendor of heaven's throne. Among them, Lucifer, adorned with beauty and wisdom, stands as a paragon of divine creation. His radiance illuminates the heavens, and his voice reverberates with celestial harmony. Yet, within this exalted existence, a shadow begins to stir, a seed of discontent that sprouts from the fertile ground of pride. The biblical references to Lucifer's fall are rooted in prophetic visions and poetic lamentations that chronicle the cosmic upheaval of angelic rebellion. In the book of Isaiah, a lamentation for the king of Babylon unveils deeper layers of meaning, hinting at the spiritual rebellion that precipitated Lucifer's fall. The prophet Ezekiel, in his vision of the king of Tyre, unveils metaphorical insights into the pride that led to Lucifer's downfall. The narrative reaches its apex in the book of Revelation, where the dragon, a symbol of Satan, leads a revolt against God's throne, dragging a third of the stars of heaven in his rebellion. This symbolic portrayal encapsulates the cosmic battle between good and evil, portraying Lucifer as the instigator of spiritual discord and the embodiment of defiance against divine authority. The biblical interpretations of Lucifer's fall invite contemplation into the nature of free will and moral accountability. His rebellion against God's sovereignty highlights the perilous allure of pride and the consequences of challenging divine order. Through his tragic transformation into Satan, the adversary, we confront the stark reality of moral choice and the eternal consequences of disobedience. Central to the biblical narrative is the theme of temptation and its profound impact on the human condition. In the story of Adam and Eve, influenced by the serpent, often identified with Lucifer, temptation leads to the fall of humanity from grace. This parallel underscores the continuity of spiritual warfare and the enduring struggle against the enticements of sin. The emotional resonance of Lucifer's fall lies in its portrayal of cosmic tragedy and moral ambiguity. It invites introspection into the nature of good and evil, justice and mercy, and the fragile balance between divine sovereignty and human autonomy. His story serves as a cautionary tale for believers and non-believers alike, a reminder of the fragility of divine grace and the enduring power of temptation. Through biblical references and interpretations, we confront profound questions about the nature of evil and the complexities of divine justice. The story of Lucifer's fall challenges us to examine our own vulnerabilities and the eternal battle between light and darkness within the human soul. It invites us to consider the consequences of our choices and the transformative power of redemption. In conclusion, the biblical references and interpretations of Lucifer's fall offer a poignant exploration of pride, rebellion, and the consequences of defying divine authority. His story, woven through prophetic visions and symbolic imagery, resonates with universal themes that continue to provoke contemplation and introspection. Through his tragic transformation into Satan, we confront the timeless struggle between hubris and humility, ambition and obedience, a struggle that reverberates through celestial realms and echoes in the depths of the human experience. In the tapestry of human imagination, few figures evoke as much fascination and dread as Lucifer, the fallen angel, the embodiment of rebellion, and the eternal adversary. Across cultures and centuries, depictions of Lucifer have woven a complex web of symbolism that reflects humanity's deepest fears, desires, and moral dilemmas. Imagine a figure cloaked in shadows, his presence whispered in tales of temptation and spiritual strife. Lucifer, once the bearer of light, now embodies the antithesis of divine order, a symbol of pride, defiance, and the allure of forbidden knowledge. His cultural depictions span literature, art, and folklore, each interpretation adding layers to his enigmatic persona. In literature, Lucifer emerges as a complex character whose rebellion against divine authority resonates with themes of autonomy and existential defiance. In John Milton's epic poem Paradise Lost, Lucifer's fall from heaven unfolds with tragic grandeur. Milton portrays him as a charismatic figure, whose pride and ambition drive him to challenge God himself. Through Milton's lens, Lucifer becomes a symbol of intellectual curiosity and the pursuit of personal freedom, a figure whose downfall elicits both sympathy and condemnation. Artistic depictions of Lucifer often emphasize his dual nature, part angelic beauty, part malevolent force. Renaissance painters like Gustave Doré and William Blake captured this dichotomy in their illustrations, portraying Lucifer's fall with haunting imagery. From majestic celestial realms to fiery abysses, these artworks evoke a visceral response, immersing viewers in the cosmic drama of spiritual rebellion and divine retribution. In folklore and popular culture, Lucifer's symbolism extends beyond religious allegory to encompass broader themes of temptation and moral ambiguity. In folk tales and urban legends, he appears as a trickster figure, tempting mortals with promises of wealth, power, and worldly pleasures. These narratives reflect humanity's enduring fascination with the darker aspects of human nature, the seductive allure of vice, and the moral complexities of choice. Symbolically, Lucifer embodies the archetype of the rebel, the outsider who challenges conventional norms and authority. His name, derived from the Latin lux fere, meaning light bringer, underscores his initial role as a bearer of enlightenment and knowledge. Yet, this light ultimately becomes a deceptive mirage, masking the abyssal depths of spiritual corruption and moral decay. The cultural depictions of Lucifer also explore themes of transformation and redemption. In some narratives, his fall from grace serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of pride and disobedience. Yet, in others, his character evolves, embodying the possibility of spiritual renewal and reconciliation. These interpretations reflect humanity's enduring belief in the power of redemption, a hope that even the darkest souls can find salvation. Across religious traditions and philosophical discourses, Lucifer's symbolism continues to provoke introspection and debate. In Christian theology, he represents the personification of evil and the eternal adversary of God's divine plan. His role as the tempter in the Garden of Eden and the leader of rebellious angels underscores his pivotal role in shaping human destiny and moral theology. In psychological terms, Lucifer symbolizes the shadow, the hidden aspects of the human psyche that defy rational control and moral constraint. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, viewed Lucifer as a symbol of individuation, the process of integrating unconscious desires and impulses into conscious awareness. Through this lens, Lucifer becomes not merely a malevolent figure but a catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. The emotional impact of Lucifer's cultural depictions lies in their ability to provoke existential questions and moral introspection. His story challenges us to confront our own inner demons, the temptations and desires that lead us astray from our true paths. Through his narrative, we grapple with profound themes of free will, moral accountability, and the nature of evil itself. In conclusion, the cultural depictions and symbolism associated with Lucifer offer a profound exploration of humanity's fascination with darkness and moral ambiguity. From literature to art, folklore to philosophy, his enigmatic persona embodies universal themes of pride, rebellion, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for spiritual understanding and redemption. In the annals of human history, few figures have undergone as profound a transformation as Satan, from the enigmatic adversary of biblical texts to the multifaceted symbol of evil and temptation in modern interpretations. His evolution spans millennia, weaving through theological discourse, artistic expression, and cultural imagination, each iteration adding layers of complexity to his enigmatic persona. Imagine a figure cloaked in darkness, whose name evokes fear and fascination across civilizations. In the earliest biblical texts, Satan emerges as a celestial prosecutor, a divine prosecutor tasked with testing the faith and resolve of humanity. His appearances in the Hebrew Bible, such as in the book of Job, depict him as a loyal servant of God, questioning the righteousness of human devotion. As the biblical narrative progresses, Satan evolves into a more malevolent figure, an adversary who tempts humanity into disobedience and moral compromise. In the Garden of Eden, he appears as the serpent, cunningly questioning the divine commandments and enticing Eve with the promise of forbidden knowledge. This pivotal moment marks a shift in Satan's characterization, from an agent of divine justice to a seductive tempter who exploits human frailty and desires. Throughout the Old Testament, Satan's role as an accuser and tempter solidifies, serving as a foil to humanity's moral struggles and spiritual aspirations. His name, derived from the Hebrew ha-Satan, meaning the accuser or the adversary, underscores his function as a celestial antagonist, a force that tests the limits of human virtue and faith. In Christian theology, Satan assumes a more prominent and diabolical role, embodying the personification of evil and the eternal adversary of God's divine plan. His rebellion against divine authority, recounted in apocryphal texts and theological treatises, casts him as the leader of fallen angels and the instigator of cosmic rebellion. This theological narrative amplifies Satan's malevolence and underscores the dire consequences of spiritual defiance and moral corruption. The evolution of Satan in medieval Christian theology further solidifies his image as a malevolent force intent on ensnaring human souls. In Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, Satan resides at the deepest abyss of hell, frozen in ice, a grotesque parody of divine majesty and a symbol of eternal damnation. This vivid portrayal underscores Satan's role as the ultimate antagonist in the cosmic drama of sin, punishment, and divine justice. Artistic depictions of Satan in the Renaissance and Baroque periods reflect the evolving theological and cultural interpretations of evil. Painters like Hieronymus Bosch and Peter Paul Rubens captured Satan's monstrous form and demonic minions, depicting hellish landscapes populated by tormented souls and infernal creatures. These artworks evoke a visceral response, immersing viewers in the horrors of damnation and the moral consequences of sinful indulgence. In modern interpretations, Satan continues to inspire literary, cinematic, and cultural narratives that explore the complexities of human nature and the enduring allure of temptation. In literature, authors like John Milton and William Blake reimagine Satan as a tragic figure, a rebel against divine tyranny and a champion of personal autonomy. Their works, such as Paradise Lost and The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, challenge traditional religious orthodoxy and invite readers to reconsider the moral ambiguities of Lucifer's rebellion. In popular culture, Satan appears in various guises: a charismatic villain, a symbol of countercultural rebellion, and even a comedic foil. From films and television series to video games and graphic novels, modern interpretations of Satan reflect contemporary anxieties and aspirations, blending ancient mythos with contemporary storytelling techniques. The emotional impact of Satan's evolution lies in its exploration of universal themes of pride, temptation, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. His story challenges us to confront our own vulnerabilities and moral dilemmas, inviting introspection into the nature of sin, redemption, and the human capacity for moral growth. In conclusion, the evolution of Satan from biblical texts to modern interpretations offers a profound exploration of humanity's fascination with darkness and moral ambiguity. From celestial accuser to infernal adversary, his transformation spans centuries of theological discourse, artistic expression, and cultural imagination. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for spiritual understanding and moral enlightenment in the cosmic drama of spiritual warfare. Few adversaries evoke as much intrigue and fear as Satan, the tempter, the accuser, and the embodiment of evil itself. His role in temptation and spiritual warfare spans myth and scripture, folklore and theology, weaving a narrative that explores the depths of human frailty, moral conflict, and the enduring battle between light and darkness. Imagine a timeless struggle unfolding across celestial realms, where angelic hosts and fallen spirits engage in a battle of wills that echoes through eternity. At the heart of this conflict stands Satan, a figure of malevolent cunning, whose mastery of temptation and deception knows no bounds. From the Garden of Eden to the inner recesses of the human soul, his influence shapes the moral landscape of existence, testing the resolve of saints and sinners alike. In biblical texts, Satan emerges as a central antagonist, a celestial prosecutor who challenges the righteousness of human faith and virtue. His role as the tempter is epitomized in the story of Adam and Eve, where he assumes the form of a serpent and entices humanity with the promise of forbidden knowledge. Through cunning rhetoric and subtle persuasion, he undermines their trust in divine authority, leading to their expulsion from paradise and the onset of human suffering. Throughout the Old and New Testaments, Satan's role as the adversary intensifies, embodying the cosmic forces of spiritual opposition and moral corruption. In the book of Job, he appears before God as the accuser of humanity, questioning the sincerity of Job's devotion and advocating for divine judgment. His interactions with Jesus Christ in the Gospels further underscore his malevolent intent, as he seeks to thwart the Messiah's divine mission through temptation and deception. The emotional resonance of Satan's role in temptation lies in its portrayal of human vulnerability and moral conflict. His ability to exploit desires and weaknesses reflects the universal struggle against sin and the complexities of free will. Through his temptations, we confront the ethical dilemmas and existential choices that define the human experience, challenging us to resist the allure of immediate gratification and embrace higher moral principles. In Christian theology, Satan's role in spiritual warfare extends beyond individual temptation to encompass broader themes of cosmic redemption and divine justice. His rebellion against God's sovereignty represents the ultimate challenge to divine order, necessitating a spiritual battle that spans the ages. Through his actions, we witness the unfolding drama of salvation history, a narrative of sin, sacrifice, and redemption that culminates in the triumph of Christ over evil and death. Artistic depictions of Satan in literature and art capture the visceral intensity of spiritual warfare, portraying him as a formidable adversary who embodies the darkest aspects of human nature. From medieval manuscripts to Renaissance paintings, Satan is depicted as a monstrous figure, replete with horns, claws, and leathery wings, symbolizing the depths of moral depravity and the consequences of spiritual rebellion. In popular culture, Satan's role in temptation continues to captivate and unsettle, serving as a metaphor for societal anxieties and existential struggles. In films, television series, and literature, he appears as a charismatic villain, a figure who seduces mortals with promises of power, wealth, and worldly pleasure. These narratives reflect contemporary fears and desires, exploring the moral ambiguities of temptation and the consequences of succumbing to dark impulses. The emotional impact of Satan's role in temptation and spiritual warfare lies in its profound exploration of human nature and moral choice. His story challenges us to confront our own vulnerabilities and ethical dilemmas, inviting introspection into the nature of sin, repentance, and divine grace. Through his temptations, we are reminded of the fragility of moral integrity and the enduring struggle to resist evil in all its forms. In conclusion, the role of Satan in temptation and spiritual warfare offers a poignant exploration of humanity's existential struggles and moral conflicts. From biblical narratives to artistic interpretations, his portrayal as the tempter and adversary underscores the universal themes of sin, redemption, and the eternal battle between good and evil. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment and moral resilience in the tapestry of theological doctrine and cultural narratives. Few figures exert as profound an influence as Satan. From ancient scriptures to modern interpretations, his presence looms large, a figure of darkness whose influence shapes religious beliefs, moral codes, and societal norms. Across civilizations and centuries, Satan's role in theological discourse and cultural narratives evolves, weaving a narrative that explores the complexities of good and evil, temptation and redemption. Imagine a shadowy figure cast against the backdrop of celestial realms, where angels and demons wage an eternal battle for the souls of humanity. At the heart of this cosmic drama stands Satan, a fallen angel, once adorned with divine radiance, now synonymous with malevolence and spiritual corruption. His influence extends beyond biblical texts to encompass theological doctrines that seek to explain the origins of evil and the nature of moral depravity. In Christian theology, Satan's influence on theological doctrine is profound, reflecting humanity's quest to understand the origins of sin and suffering. His role as the adversary of God and humanity emerges in biblical narratives, where he tempts Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and challenges the faith of Job. These stories serve as allegories for the moral dilemmas and spiritual conflicts that define the human condition, inviting believers to confront the complexities of free will and moral responsibility. Throughout the history of Christianity, theologians and scholars have grappled with Satan's theological significance, interpreting his role as both a symbol of temptation and a catalyst for spiritual growth. The concept of spiritual warfare, articulated in the New Testament, frames the Christian life as a constant struggle against the forces of evil, a battle that requires vigilance, faith, and divine intervention. Satan's influence on cultural narratives extends beyond theological discourse to encompass literature, art, and popular culture. In literature, authors like John Milton and Dante Alighieri reimagine Satan as a tragic figure, a rebel against divine tyranny and a symbol of human defiance. Milton's epic poem Paradise Lost portrays Satan's fall from grace with epic grandeur, exploring themes of pride, ambition, and the consequences of spiritual rebellion. In art, Satan is depicted in myriad forms, often as a monstrous figure with horns, claws, and leathery wings, a visual representation of moral corruption and spiritual decay. From medieval manuscripts to Renaissance paintings, artists capture Satan's malevolent presence, inviting viewers to contemplate the consequences of sin and the pursuit of worldly desires. In popular culture, Satan's portrayal continues to evolve, reflecting contemporary anxieties and societal values. In films, television series, and video games, he appears as a formidable antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and challenges the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of temptation, redemption, and the enduring struggle between good and evil, resonating with audiences who grapple with their own ethical dilemmas and existential uncertainties. The emotional impact of Satan's influence on theological doctrine and cultural narratives lies in its exploration of universal themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His story challenges believers and non-believers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, inviting introspection into the nature of good and evil and the complexities of human nature. In conclusion, Satan's influence on theological doctrine and cultural narratives offers a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From biblical narratives to artistic interpretations, his portrayal as the adversary of God and humanity underscores the universal themes of sin, redemption, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the eternal battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to resonate across civilizations and inspire contemplation into the mysteries of faith and the human condition. In the tapestry of ancient scriptures and theological lore, one name echoes through the annals of history with a chilling resonance: Beelzebub. This enigmatic figure, cloaked in myth and mystery, embodies the depths of spiritual darkness and the allure of forbidden power. His biblical origins and historical context reveal a complex narrative that spans cultures, religions, and millennia, inviting us to peer into the origins of one of the most infamous figures in religious tradition. Picture yourself transported to ancient Judea, a land steeped in myth and religious fervor. In the Hebrew Bible, Beelzebub emerges as a deity worshipped in the Philistine city of Ekron, a figure associated with fertility, protection, and the divine order of the natural world. Known as Beelzebub in Hebrew, his name translates to Lord of the Flies, a title that evokes both reverence and fear among ancient worshippers. As the biblical narrative unfolds, Beelzebub undergoes a transformation from a regional deity to a symbol of spiritual opposition and moral corruption. In the New Testament, particularly in the Gospels, Beelzebub is reimagined as a prince of demons, an infernal adversary who embodies the forces of evil and temptation. His name becomes synonymous with demonic possession and spiritual warfare, reflecting broader theological concerns about the nature of sin and the consequences of moral defiance. Historically, Beelzebub's association with demonic forces reflects the cultural and religious conflicts of ancient Judea. During the intertestamental period, Jewish texts such as the Book of Enoch and the Testament of Solomon expand upon his role as a malevolent spirit who tempts humanity into sin and spiritual downfall. These apocryphal texts depict Beelzebub as a formidable adversary, an antagonist who seeks to undermine divine authority and corrupt the souls of believers. In Christian theology, Beelzebub's significance extends beyond his biblical origins to encompass broader themes of spiritual opposition and moral redemption. His portrayal as a prince of demons in the New Testament gospel narratives underscores the cosmic battle between good and evil, a struggle that shapes the destiny of humanity and the eternal quest for salvation. Artistic depictions of Beelzebub in literature and art capture the visceral intensity of spiritual warfare, portraying him as a malevolent figure with horns, wings, and a menacing countenance. From medieval manuscripts to Renaissance paintings, artists evoke Beelzebub's diabolical presence, inviting viewers to contemplate the consequences of moral corruption and spiritual rebellion. In popular culture, Beelzebub's portrayal continues to resonate with contemporary audiences, reflecting societal anxieties and existential uncertainties. In literature, films, and television series, he appears as a formidable antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and challenges the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of temptation, redemption, and the enduring struggle between good and evil, resonating with audiences who grapple with their own ethical dilemmas and spiritual convictions. The emotional impact of Beelzebub's biblical origins and historical context lies in its exploration of universal themes, themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His story challenges believers and non-believers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, inviting introspection into the nature of good and evil and the complexities of human nature. In conclusion, Beelzebub's biblical origins and historical context offer a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From ancient scriptures to artistic interpretations, his portrayal as the Prince of Demons underscores the universal themes of sin, redemption, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the eternal battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to resonate across civilizations and inspire contemplation into the mysteries of faith and the human condition. In the vast tapestry of human imagination, few figures evoke as much intrigue and dread as Beelzebub. This ancient name, resonating with ominous echoes from religious texts and folklore, conjures visions of a malevolent presence, dark wings outstretched, eyes gleaming with infernal knowledge. Through cultural and literary representations spanning centuries, Beelzebub emerges as a potent symbol of spiritual corruption and moral peril, inviting us into a world where the boundaries between good and evil blur, and the human soul stands at the precipice of temptation. Imagine stepping into the realms of ancient mythology and literature, where Beelzebub assumes various forms and roles across cultures. In ancient Semitic religions, Beelzebub, or Baal-zebub, was worshipped as a deity associated with fertility and protection. His name, meaning Lord of the Flies, reflects an ancient reverence for his powers over the natural world, a protector against pestilence and a guardian of life's abundance. Yet, as civilizations evolved and theological landscapes shifted, Beelzebub underwent a transformation from benevolent deity to a figure of malevolence and spiritual danger. In Christian scriptures, particularly in the New Testament, Beelzebub emerges as a prince of demons, a dark counterpart to divine authority, embodying the forces of temptation and corruption. His name becomes synonymous with demonic possession and spiritual warfare, casting a shadow over the moral struggles of humanity and the eternal battle between light and darkness. The gospel narratives depict Beelzebub as a formidable adversary, challenging the faith and resolve of believers, and symbolizing the perilous allure of worldly desires. Throughout history, artists and writers have drawn upon Beelzebub's mythic resonance to explore themes of sin, temptation, and moral ambiguity. In literature, from medieval allegories to modern novels, Beelzebub appears as a cunning antagonist, a figure who tempts protagonists with promises of power, knowledge, and forbidden pleasures. His presence serves as a catalyst for moral conflict and existential dilemmas, inviting readers to confront their own vulnerabilities and ethical choices. In art, Beelzebub is depicted in myriad forms, often with monstrous features, such as horns, claws, and leathery wings, symbolizing the depths of spiritual corruption and the consequences of moral decay. From medieval manuscripts adorned with vivid illustrations to Renaissance paintings capturing the drama of spiritual warfare, artists evoke Beelzebub's sinister presence, challenging viewers to contemplate the perils of spiritual rebellion and the pursuit of worldly temptations. In popular culture, Beelzebub's portrayal continues to resonate with contemporary audiences, reflecting societal anxieties and existential uncertainties. In films, television series, and graphic novels, he appears as a complex antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and tests the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the eternal struggle between good and evil, resonating with viewers who grapple with their own ethical dilemmas and spiritual beliefs. The emotional impact of Beelzebub's cultural and literary representations lies in their exploration of universal themes, themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His story challenges readers and viewers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, inviting introspection into the nature of good and evil and the complexities of human nature. In conclusion, Beelzebub's cultural and literary representations offer a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From ancient myths to modern interpretations, his portrayal as the Prince of Demons underscores universal themes of sin, redemption, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his story, we confront the complexities of human nature and the eternal battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to captivate and provoke contemplation across generations and cultures. Imagine entering a realm where shadows dance with malevolent intent and whispers of ancient lore echo through the corridors of time. In this ethereal theater of the mind, one figure stands at the crossroads of myth and mystery, beckoning us into the labyrinthine depths of demonology, Beelzebub. Known as the Lord of the Flies, this enigmatic entity embodies more than just a name. It encapsulates the symbolism and profound significance woven into the fabric of demonological studies. At its core, Beelzebub symbolizes the embodiment of spiritual corruption and moral decay, a dark mirror reflecting humanity's most profound fears and temptations. In ancient Semitic cultures, his name, Beelzebub, denoted a deity revered for protection against pestilence, yet over time, this benign figure transformed into a symbol of malevolent influence and sinister power. In the annals of demonology, Beelzebub emerges as a pivotal figure, a prince among demons, commanding legions with nefarious intent and challenging the very essence of divine authority. The symbolism of Beelzebub extends beyond his biblical origins to encompass broader themes of spiritual warfare and existential struggle. As a prince of demons in Christian theology, he represents the antithesis of divine order, a malevolent force that tests the faith and resolve of believers, tempting them with promises of earthly pleasures and forbidden knowledge. His presence in religious texts serves as a cautionary tale, warning of the dangers of spiritual complacency and the allure of worldly desires. In literature and art, Beelzebub's symbolism is depicted with vivid imagery and allegorical depth. From medieval manuscripts adorned with intricate illustrations to Renaissance paintings capturing the drama of celestial conflict, artists evoke his diabolical presence with horns, wings, and a menacing countenance. These visual representations invite contemplation into the consequences of moral compromise and the eternal battle between light and darkness, a narrative that resonates with viewers across cultures and centuries. In popular culture, Beelzebub continues to captivate audiences with his portrayal in films, television series, and graphic novels. He appears as a complex antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and challenges the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the enduring struggle between good and evil, inviting viewers to confront their own ethical dilemmas and spiritual beliefs. The significance of Beelzebub in demonology lies in its exploration of universal themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His symbolism challenges believers and non-believers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, inviting introspection into the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, Beelzebub's symbolism and significance in demonology offer a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From ancient mythologies to modern interpretations, his portrayal as the Lord of Demons underscores universal themes of sin, redemption, and the eternal quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his symbolic presence, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to provoke contemplation and inspire awe across cultures and generations. In the tapestry of ancient texts and legends, there exists a name whispered with trepidation and awe, a name that echoes through the corridors of myth and folklore, Asmodeus. This enigmatic figure, known as a demon of lust, is woven into the fabric of biblical and extra-biblical narratives with a complexity that stirs both fascination and fear. Imagine journeying back in time to ancient Judea, where stories of Asmodeus first emerged in Jewish folklore. In the apocryphal book of Tobit, Asmodeus appears as a malevolent spirit who torments Sarah, a young woman cursed by a series of tragic marriages. This demon's influence is so potent that Sarah's husbands perish on their wedding nights before consummation, leaving her shunned and cursed by society. Asmodeus embodies the archetype of temptation and suffering, a figure who embodies the darkest desires and fears of human nature. His portrayal in biblical and extra-biblical sources serves as a cautionary tale, warning of the consequences of unchecked passions and the destructive power of moral corruption. In Jewish tradition, Asmodeus is depicted not only as a demon of lust, but also as a cunning adversary who challenges the faith and resolve of believers. His name derives from Persian and Hebrew roots, symbolizing a fusion of ancient mythologies and cultural beliefs. Asmodeus's presence in ancient texts reflects broader concerns about spiritual purity and the dangers of succumbing to earthly desires. Outside of biblical sources, Asmodeus appears in various ancient texts and folklore traditions. In medieval European demonology, he emerges as a powerful prince of hell, an embodiment of carnal temptation and moral corruption. His name evokes fear and fascination, reflecting the enduring allure of dark narratives and supernatural beings in human consciousness. Artistic representations of Asmodeus capture the essence of his malevolent presence with vivid imagery and allegorical depth. From illuminated manuscripts adorned with intricate illustrations to Renaissance paintings depicting scenes of demonic torment, artists evoke Asmodeus's diabolical nature with horns, claws, and a seductive allure that challenges viewers to confront their own vulnerabilities and ethical choices. In popular culture, Asmodeus continues to resonate with audiences through his portrayal in literature, films, and television series. He appears as a complex antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and tests the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of temptation, redemption, and the eternal struggle between good and evil, inviting audiences to confront their own fears and desires in the face of supernatural forces. The significance of Asmodeus in biblical and extra-biblical sources lies in its exploration of universal themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His presence challenges believers and non-believers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, inviting introspection into the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, Asmodeus's portrayal in biblical and extra-biblical sources offers a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From ancient mythologies to modern interpretations, his depiction as a demon of lust underscores universal themes of sin, redemption, and the eternal quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his symbolic presence, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to provoke contemplation and inspire awe across cultures and generations. Imagine standing at the threshold of ancient lore, where whispers of a name stir both fascination and fear, a name that resonates through the annals of demonology, Asmodeus. This enigmatic figure, cloaked in the shadows of myth and legend, embodies a complexity that transcends mere description, evoking emotions ranging from dread to intrigue. Asmodeus, known as a prince of demons in various religious and cultural traditions, is characterized by a set of attributes that define his malevolent essence. At his core, he symbolizes the embodiment of temptation and moral corruption, an adversary whose cunning surpasses moral comprehension. His name, derived from ancient Persian and Hebrew roots, signifies a fusion of mythological influences that span centuries and civilizations. In Jewish tradition, Asmodeus is portrayed as a demon of lust, a seductive and insidious force that preys upon human weaknesses, particularly in matters of desire and passion. His presence in the apocryphal book of Tobit illustrates his role as a tormentor of Sarah, a young woman cursed by a series of tragic marriages. Asmodeus's influence ensures that each of Sarah's husbands meets a tragic fate on their wedding night, leaving her cursed and ostracized by society. Beyond his role in Jewish folklore, Asmodeus appears in Christian demonology as a formidable adversary, a prince among demons who challenges the faith and resolve of believers. His attributes include not only a mastery of temptation but also a cunning intellect that rivals the wisdom of mortal minds. In medieval European texts, he is often depicted with monstrous features, horns, claws, and a malevolent gaze that pierces the soul. Artistic representations of Asmodeus capture his essence with vivid imagery and allegorical depth. From illuminated manuscripts adorned with intricate illustrations to Renaissance paintings depicting scenes of demonic torment, Artists evoke his diabolical nature in ways that challenge viewers to confront their own fears and desires. Asmodeus's attributes in art often emphasize his dual nature, seductive yet sinister, tempting yet terrifying, a dichotomy that mirrors the complexities of human moral struggle. In literature and popular culture, Asmodeus continues to captivate audiences through his portrayal as a complex antagonist. He appears in novels, films, and television series as a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and tests the moral convictions of protagonists. These narratives explore themes of temptation, redemption, and the eternal struggle between good and evil, inviting audiences to contemplate their own vulnerabilities in the face of supernatural forces. The significance of Asmodeus's characteristics lies in their exploration of universal themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. His attributes challenge believers and non-believers alike to confront their own moral choices and spiritual convictions, prompting introspection into the complexities of human nature and the quest for spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, Asmodeus's characteristics in religious texts, folklore, and artistic representations offer a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral struggles. From ancient mythologies to modern interpretations, his depiction as a demon of lust underscores universal themes of sin, redemption, and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment. Through his attributes, we confront the complexities of human nature and the enduring battle between light and darkness, a narrative that continues to provoke contemplation and inspire awe across cultures and generations. In the twilight of human imagination, where legends whisper through the ages, one name stands out amidst the shadows: Asmodeus. This figure, steeped in cultural interpretations and folklore, embodies a tapestry of myths that intertwine across civilizations, each thread weaving a tale of fascination and fear. Throughout history, Asmodeus has transcended mere demonology to become a symbol of profound moral dilemmas and spiritual trials. In Jewish folklore, his presence looms large as a demon of lust and temptation, a malevolent force that tests the virtue of mortals. One such tale unfolds in the Book of Tobit, where Asmodeus plays a pivotal role in the tragic life of Sarah, cursed by the demon to lose 7 successive husbands on their wedding nights. This narrative not only highlights Asmodeus's cunning and cruelty but also underscores the enduring theme of human vulnerability to unchecked desire and divine intervention. Across Christian traditions, Asmodeus assumes a similarly dark mantle, portrayed as a prince among demons who delights in sowing discord and spiritual decay. His attributes, including a seductive charm and cunning intellect, make him a formidable adversary against the faithful. Medieval texts depict him with grotesque features, horns, claws, and a gaze that pierces the soul, emphasizing his dual nature as both tempter and tormentor. Artistic representations further amplify Asmodeus's presence, capturing his essence with vivid imagery that evokes both terror and fascination. Illuminated manuscripts from the Middle Ages and Renaissance paintings depict scenes of demonic torment and spiritual struggle, where Asmodeus's malevolent influence tests the moral fiber of humanity. These artworks serve as visual allegories, challenging viewers to confront their own fears and ethical choices in the face of supernatural temptation. In folklore beyond religious texts, Asmodeus appears in various cultural interpretations, each adding layers of complexity to his mythos. Persian and Arabic traditions blend with Jewish and Christian narratives, portraying Asmodeus as a figure of cunning intellect and supernatural prowess. He becomes not just a demon of lust, but also a symbol of moral corruption and societal upheaval, a reflection of human frailty and the consequences of unchecked desire. Modern literature and popular culture continue to reimagine Asmodeus, weaving his dark allure into tales that resonate with contemporary audiences. Novels, films, and television series explore his character as a complex antagonist, a figure who embodies the darker aspects of human nature and challenges protagonists to confront their own vulnerabilities and moral convictions. These narratives delve into themes of temptation, redemption, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness, offering modern insights into timeless spiritual dilemmas. The significance of cultural interpretations and folklore surrounding Asmodeus lies in their exploration of universal themes of sin and repentance, temptation and redemption, and the eternal battle between good and evil. Through these interpretations, humanity confronts its own moral complexities and spiritual struggles, inviting introspection into the choices that define individual and collective destinies. In conclusion, Asmodeus's presence in cultural interpretations and folklore offers a profound exploration of humanity's spiritual journey and moral challenges. From ancient myths to modern reimaginings, his character serves as a mirror reflecting the depths of human desire, frailty, and resilience in the face of supernatural temptation. Through these narratives, we encounter not just a demon of lore but a compelling symbol of the eternal quest for spiritual enlightenment and moral clarity. A narrative that continues to resonate with awe and contemplation across cultures and generations. In the ancient annals of biblical lore, amidst the celestial battles and moral quandaries, there exists a name that echoes through the corridors of theological discourse, a name that evokes both fascination and caution: Mammon. This enigmatic figure, woven into the fabric of biblical and theological texts, embodies a profound narrative that transcends mere material wealth to delve into the depths of human desire and spiritual conflict. Mammon's origins can be traced back to the teachings of Jesus Christ, where in the Gospel of Matthew, he is famously quoted as saying, "You cannot serve both God and Mammon." Here, Mammon is personified not merely as wealth or riches, but as an entity or force that competes for human allegiance. A spiritual challenge that confronts the faithful with the allure of worldly possessions and material gain. In theological interpretations, Mammon represents more than just greed. He symbolizes the ethical and spiritual dilemmas inherent in the pursuit of material wealth. His name derives from Aramaic roots, signifying riches or possessions that can become idols, distracting believers from their spiritual path. This portrayal serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of placing material gain above spiritual fulfillment and moral integrity. Throughout Christian history, Mammon's presence in theological discourse has evolved, reflecting shifting interpretations of wealth, poverty, and social justice. Early Christian theologians debated the ethical implications of wealth accumulation and the responsibilities of the affluent towards the less fortunate. Mammon emerged as a metaphorical figure embodying the temptations and moral hazards associated with economic prosperity, a reminder of the delicate balance between material success and spiritual well-being. Beyond biblical texts, Mammon appears in literary and artistic representations that explore his character in allegorical and symbolic contexts. Medieval artworks depict Mammon as a demonic figure, often depicted with coins and treasures at his feet, tempting mortals with promises of wealth and power. These visual representations underscore Mammon's role as a spiritual adversary, a force that tests the resolve and ethical convictions of believers. In modern interpretations, Mammon continues to resonate as a symbol of economic excess and moral compromise. Literary works and films portray Mammon as a pervasive influence in contemporary society, where the pursuit of wealth can lead to moral decay and spiritual emptiness. These narratives challenge audiences to reflect on the ethical implications of financial success and the broader societal consequences of unchecked materialism. The significance of Mammon in biblical and theological texts lies in its exploration of universal themes of greed and generosity, temptation and moral integrity, and the ethical responsibilities of wealth. Through Mammon's portrayal, believers confront their own attitudes towards material possessions and their impact on personal and communal well-being. His character serves as a reminder of the perennial struggle between earthly desires and spiritual enlightenment, a narrative that resonates with profound emotional and moral implications. In conclusion, Mammon's origins in biblical and theological texts offer a timeless exploration of humanity's complex relationship with wealth and materialism. From biblical teachings to modern interpretations, his character embodies the ethical challenges and spiritual dilemmas inherent in the pursuit of economic prosperity. Through Mammon, we confront the enduring tensions between material gain and spiritual fulfillment, inviting introspection into the values that shape individual and collective destinies in a world defined by its pursuit of wealth. In the realm where spiritual wisdom intersects with the allure of earthly riches, there resides a figure whose name evokes both fascination and caution, Mammon. Across centuries of theological discourse and spiritual reflection, interpretations of Mammon's role in the dynamics of spiritual and material wealth have woven a tapestry of moral quandaries and existential challenges. Mammon, as portrayed in biblical teachings and theological interpretations, embodies more than mere wealth. He symbolizes the ethical and spiritual dilemmas that arise from the pursuit of material prosperity. In the Gospel of Matthew, Mammon is personified by Jesus as a rival to God, warning that one cannot serve both divine principles and worldly riches. This stark portrayal sets the stage for understanding Mammon not just as a symbol of greed, but as a spiritual force that tests the fidelity of believers to their higher spiritual callings. Throughout Christian history, theologians and scholars have grappled with the implications of Mammon's presence in human affairs. Early Christian writings caution against the pitfalls of wealth accumulation, emphasizing the dangers of greed and the corrupting influence of material possessions on moral integrity. Mammon serves as a moral foil, a figure whose temptations challenge believers to prioritize spiritual values over material gain and to navigate the complexities of economic prosperity with ethical discernment. In literary and artistic representations, Mammon often appears as a provocative figure, depicted in medieval artworks with imagery that underscores his role as a tempter and antagonist. Paintings and manuscripts illustrate Mammon surrounded by wealth, coins, and treasures, luring mortals into a web of desires that threaten their spiritual well-being. These visual allegories provoke contemplation on the moral hazards of wealth and the enduring tension between spiritual fulfillment and worldly success. Modern interpretations of Mammon reflect contemporary concerns about consumerism, inequality, and the moral responsibilities of economic privilege. Literature and media portray Mammon not only as a personal temptation but also as a societal force shaping global economies and cultural values. Stories and films depict characters grappling with the ethical dilemmas of wealth, confronting the consequences of their choices on personal happiness and communal welfare. Through these narratives, audiences are invited to examine their own relationships with money and possessions, prompting reflection on the deeper meanings of prosperity and spiritual fulfillment. The significance of Mammon's interpretations lies in their exploration of universal themes of temptation and resistance, of moral compromise and ethical clarity. Through Mammon's character, believers and non-believers alike confront fundamental questions about the nature of wealth, its impact on human relationships, and its role in shaping individual identities and societal values. His presence in theological discourse serves as a reminder of the complexities inherent in navigating the intersections of faith and finance, challenging individuals to align their material pursuits with spiritual principles that promote justice, compassion, and communal well-being. In conclusion, Mammon's interpretations in spiritual and material contexts offer a profound exploration of humanity's perennial quest for meaning and purpose in a world marked by wealth and abundance. From biblical teachings to contemporary reflections, his character embodies the enduring tensions between spiritual ideals and material realities, inviting individuals to cultivate a deeper awareness of the ethical dimensions of prosperity. Through Mammon, we are confronted with the challenge of integrating personal wealth with communal responsibility, navigating the complexities of economic life with integrity and compassion, and striving for a balance that honors both material success and spiritual fulfillment in the journey towards a more just and compassionate world. In the vast expanse of human imagination and cultural reflection, Mammon stands as a figure of profound intrigue and moral inquiry. His influence transcends mere monetary concerns, delving deep into the moral fabric of societies and the ethical landscapes of human hearts. From ancient texts to modern critiques, Mammon's cultural footprint is felt across literature, art, and societal discourse. He embodies the seductive allure of wealth and material success, challenging individuals and communities alike to navigate the complexities of economic prosperity with moral integrity. In literary works spanning centuries, Mammon appears as a character whose presence symbolizes the moral dilemmas inherent in wealth acquisition. Writers and poets depict Mammon as a tempter, luring protagonists into a labyrinth of desires and moral compromises. His portrayal serves as a cautionary tale, a narrative thread that warns of the pitfalls of greed and the ethical hazards of placing material gain above spiritual and communal values. Artistic representations of Mammon further amplify his cultural critique. Paintings and sculptures depict Mammon amidst opulent riches, often contrasted with scenes of poverty and moral decay. These visual allegories provoke introspection on the ethical dimensions of wealth disparity and the enduring struggle between opulence and social justice. In contemporary literature and media, Mammon's influence resonates with heightened relevance. Authors and filmmakers explore themes of economic inequality, corporate greed, and the societal implications of unchecked consumerism. Characters grappling with Mammon's temptations confront personal moral quandaries, struggling to reconcile their ambitions for financial success with their aspirations for ethical integrity and social responsibility. Cultural critiques of Mammon extend beyond artistic representations to encompass broader societal reflections on economic ethics. Scholars and activists critique the impact of Mammon's influence on global capitalism, questioning the moral underpinnings of profit maximization and the equitable distribution of resources. Debates on corporate social responsibility, wealth redistribution, and sustainable economic practices underscore the ethical imperatives of addressing Mammon's pervasive influence in contemporary society. At its core, the cultural critique of Mammon invites individuals to examine their own relationships with wealth and material possessions. It challenges us to consider how our economic choices and societal structures reflect or contradict our moral values and aspirations for a more just and compassionate world. Through Mammon's lens, we confront the ethical complexities of economic life, grappling with questions of moral agency, social justice, and the pursuit of human flourishing in an interconnected global community. In conclusion, Mammon's cultural critiques and representations illuminate the profound intersections of wealth, morality, and societal values. Through literature, art, and societal discourse, we confront the enduring tensions between material aspirations and spiritual fulfillment, between economic prosperity and ethical responsibility. Mammon's presence in cultural narratives serves as a poignant reminder of the ethical imperatives of economic stewardship and the collective pursuit of a more equitable and humane world. In the annals of ancient mythology, amidst the whispered tales of creation and divine beings, there exists a figure whose presence captivates the imagination and stirs the soul, Lilith. Her mythological origins and cultural evolution trace a path through time, weaving together threads of mystery, defiance, and enduring symbolism that continue to resonate across cultures and generations. Lilith emerges from the mists of Mesopotamian mythology, where she is envisioned as a winged goddess of the night, a creature of shadow and allure. In these ancient tales, she embodies the primordial feminine spirit, fierce and independent, refusing to submit to the dominion of male deities. Lilith's defiance against patriarchal authority becomes a central motif in her mythological narrative, symbolizing rebellion and autonomy in a world shaped by divine decree. As myths traveled across ancient civilizations, Lilith's legend intertwined with Hebrew folklore, where her story underwent transformation yet retained its essence of defiance and empowerment. In Jewish mythology, Lilith is portrayed as Adam's first wife, crafted from the same earth as him and thus his equal. However, her refusal to be subservient to Adam in intimacy led to her voluntary departure from Eden. This departure, marked by her proclamation of the ineffable name of God, underscores her spiritual power and the consequences of asserting her autonomy. Through the lens of cultural evolution, Lilith transcends her mythological origins to become a symbol of feminine power and resilience. Her narrative resonates with themes of liberation and the quest for equality, challenging societal norms and patriarchal structures that seek to confine women to subordinate roles. In feminist interpretations, Lilith embodies the archetype of the independent woman, an embodiment of strength, wisdom, and the refusal to compromise her authenticity for societal acceptance. Artistic representations of Lilith further amplify her mythological allure. Paintings and sculptures depict her as a seductive temptress, ensnaring mortals with her beauty and intellect. Yet, beneath this external allure lies a deeper complexity, a symbol of untamed desire and the unapologetic pursuit of personal freedom. These artistic interpretations evoke a sense of both fascination and caution, inviting viewers to contemplate the duality of Lilith's nature and the implications of embracing one's true self against societal expectations. In contemporary culture, Lilith's legacy endures through literature, music, and popular media. Writers and musicians invoke her name to explore themes of female empowerment, sexual liberation, and the complexities of human desire. Characters inspired by Lilith embody strength and resilience, challenging conventions and inspiring audiences to embrace their own paths of self-discovery and empowerment. The mythological origins and cultural evolution of Lilith invite us to confront fundamental questions about identity, autonomy, and the pursuit of personal truth. Through her story, we are reminded of the enduring quest for equality and the courage required to defy entrenched norms in the pursuit of authenticity. Lilith's journey through myth and folklore resonates with a timeless message that true liberation lies in embracing the complexities of one's own existence and asserting the inherent right to self-determination. In conclusion, Lilith's mythological origins and cultural evolution illuminate the intricate tapestry of human experience, where myths and legends intertwine with aspirations for freedom, equality, and spiritual awakening. Her journey from ancient goddess to modern symbol underscores the enduring power of myth to shape consciousness and challenge societal conventions. Through Lilith, we glimpse the eternal struggle for autonomy and the indomitable spirit that continues to inspire individuals to embrace their true selves and forge paths of empowerment in a world that often seeks to confine and control. In the tapestry of myth and folklore, there exists a figure whose presence resonates deeply with the complexities of women's roles and the intricate landscape of human sexuality, Lilith. Her interpretations in relation to these realms unveil a narrative rich with symbolism, defiance, and profound emotional resonance, echoing through centuries of cultural evolution and societal reflection. Lilith emerges from ancient mythology as a figure of primordial power and independence. In Mesopotamian lore, she is envisioned as a goddess of the night, embodying the raw essence of feminine strength and mystery. Her refusal to submit to male authority marks her as a rebel against patriarchal norms, challenging the status quo and asserting her right to autonomy. This early portrayal sets the stage for interpretations of Lilith as a symbol of female empowerment, a beacon of resilience and the refusal to be confined by societal expectations. In Hebrew folklore, Lilith's narrative takes on a transformative role as Adam's first wife, crafted from the same earth as him. Her equality with Adam is underscored by her insistence on sexual equality, a refusal to lie beneath him during intercourse, symbolizing her rejection of subservience. This act of defiance leads to her voluntary exile from Eden and her transformation into a demoness of the night, haunting mothers and newborns out of resentment for her own loss of children. Interpretations of Lilith in relation to women's roles delve deep into the complexities of gender dynamics and sexuality. She embodies the archetype of the liberated woman, a figure who challenges traditional roles and embraces her own desires and autonomy. In feminist interpretations, Lilith becomes a symbol of sexual liberation and the assertion of female agency in a world that often seeks to control and constrain women's bodies and desires. Literature and art reflect these interpretations through depictions of Lilith as a seductive temptress and a symbol of female power. Paintings and sculptures portray her as both beautiful and dangerous, embodying the allure and mystery of feminine sexuality. Writers explore her character in stories that celebrate her defiance and resilience, portraying her as a figure who defies societal expectations and embraces her own truth, even at great personal cost. Music and poetry also contribute to the emotional tapestry of Lilith's story, capturing the nuances of her character and the themes she embodies. Songs and verses celebrate her strength and independence, resonating with audiences who identify with her journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Through these artistic expressions, Lilith's story becomes a universal tale of courage and defiance, a reminder of the ongoing struggle for gender equality and the right to sexual autonomy. Contemporary interpretations of Lilith continue to evolve, reflecting changing attitudes towards gender roles and sexuality. She remains a potent symbol of resistance against oppression and a champion of individuality and self-expression. Her story challenges us to confront societal norms and embrace the full spectrum of human experience, including the complexities of desire, identity, and the pursuit of personal fulfillment. In conclusion, Lilith's interpretations in relation to women's roles and sexuality resonate with timeless themes of empowerment, defiance, and the quest for self-determination. Her mythological journey illuminates the enduring struggle for gender equality and the right to sexual autonomy, a journey marked by courage, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of personal truth. Through Lilith's story, we are reminded of the power of myth to inspire change and challenge injustice, urging us to embrace our own narratives of strength and liberation in a world that continues to evolve towards greater understanding and equality. In the realm of myth and symbolism, there exists a figure whose story resonates deeply with themes of empowerment, independence, and the complexities of femininity, Lilith. Her journey through mythology and the lens of feminist perspectives unveils layers of symbolism that continue to captivate hearts and minds, challenging societal norms and inspiring a re-evaluation of gender roles and power dynamics. Lilith emerges from ancient texts and folklore as a symbol of defiance and liberation, embodying qualities that defy traditional patriarchal expectations. In various mythological traditions, she is portrayed as Adam's equal, created from the same earth as him, yet refusing to submit to his authority. This initial act of resistance sets the stage for Lilith as a feminist icon, a figure who asserts her autonomy and challenges the status quo. Symbolically, Lilith embodies the untamed aspects of femininity, the raw, unapologetic expression of female desire, intellect, and strength. Unlike Eve, who is often depicted as submissive and secondary to Adam, Lilith represents an alternative archetype of womanhood, one that refuses to conform to societal expectations and embraces her own power and agency. This symbolism resonates deeply with feminist perspectives, which seek to dismantle traditional gender roles and empower women to define their identities on their own terms. In feminist interpretations, Lilith becomes a symbol of sexual autonomy and the rejection of male dominance. Her refusal to be subservient to Adam in the Garden of Eden symbolizes her demand for equality in all aspects of life, including sexual relationships. This aspect of her character challenges the narrative of women as passive and subordinate, instead celebrating female desire and the right to assert boundaries in intimate relationships. Literature and art have contributed significantly to the portrayal of Lilith as a feminist symbol. Writers and artists depict her as a complex figure who navigates the tensions between desire and constraint, freedom and exile. Poets and authors explore her character in narratives that highlight her resilience and determination to forge her own path, despite the consequences of her defiance. Visual artists capture her essence through paintings and sculptures that depict her as both beautiful and formidable, a symbol of strength and independence. These artistic interpretations evoke a range of emotions, from admiration for her courage to sympathy for her exile and loneliness. Through these mediums, Lilith's story becomes a poignant exploration of the struggles and triumphs of women who dare to challenge societal norms and assert their identities. Music and poetry also contribute to the emotional resonance of Lilith's narrative, capturing the spirit of rebellion and self-discovery that defines her character. Songs and verses celebrate her refusal to conform and her quest for personal liberation, resonating with audiences who identify with her journey of empowerment and self-realization. Contemporary interpretations of Lilith continue to evolve, reflecting changing attitudes towards gender and sexuality. She remains a symbol of resistance against oppression and a reminder of the ongoing struggle for gender equality. Her story challenges us to reconsider traditional narratives of femininity and to embrace a more inclusive and empowering vision of womanhood, one that celebrates diversity, agency, and the right to self-expression. In conclusion, Lilith's symbolism and feminist perspectives illuminate timeless themes of empowerment, rebellion, and the pursuit of autonomy. Her story resonates with individuals who seek to challenge societal norms and redefine the roles and expectations imposed upon women. Through her mythological journey, we are reminded of the power of myth and symbolism to inspire change and provoke thought, urging us to embrace our own narratives of strength and liberation in a world that continues to evolve towards greater equality and understanding. In the annals of myth and folklore, amidst the shadowy figures that haunt our imagination, one name echoes with a chilling resonance: Belfagor. This ancient entity, steeped in the mysteries of history and culture, has fascinated and terrified across centuries of human storytelling. Belfagor emerges from the depths of ancient Mesopotamian mythology, where he was initially revered as Baal Peor, a deity associated with licentiousness and the temptations of wealth. Over time, this divine figure evolved into a darker entity within Judeo-Christian traditions, embodying the insidious allure of material wealth and the corruption it breeds. Historically, Belfagor's depiction underwent transformations as various cultures and religions adapted his character to reflect their fears and moral teachings. In Christian demonology, Belfagor came to symbolize the sin of sloth, a lethargy of spirit that breeds idleness and neglect of spiritual duties. This interpretation colored his portrayal in medieval literature and art, where he was depicted as a grotesque figure tempting humanity into indolence and apathy. Culturally, Belfagor's influence spread across Europe during the Middle Ages, as tales of his malevolent presence circulated among clergy and common folk alike. He became a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of succumbing to earthly pleasures at the expense of one's soul. Stories of his temptations often carried moral undertones, urging listeners to resist the lure of easy wealth and transient pleasures. Literary depictions of Belfagor further enriched his mythological legacy. Writers seized upon his enigmatic nature to weave tales of moral ambiguity and spiritual peril. In these narratives, Belfagor emerges as a cunning antagonist, exploiting human frailties and desires for personal gain. His allure is portrayed as irresistible yet ultimately damning, a reflection of humanity's perennial struggle between virtue and vice. Artistic representations of Belfagor mirrored the evolving perceptions of his character. Paintings and sculptures from the Renaissance onward captured his visage in various forms, from a sinister tempter cloaked in opulence to a grotesque fiend embodying the consequences of unchecked avarice. These artworks evoked a visceral response, stirring both fear and fascination with their vivid portrayal of moral dilemmas and spiritual consequences. Across cultures, Belfagor's name became synonymous with the pitfalls of materialism and the corrupting influence of greed. Folklore attributed to him a role as a trickster figure, ensnaring the unwary with promises of wealth and power only to lead them astray. His presence in stories and legends served as a reminder of the fragile boundary between ambition and moral decay, a cautionary tale echoed through generations. In contemporary culture, Belfagor continues to intrigue as a symbol of moral decadence and spiritual bankruptcy. His legacy persists in literature, film, and music, where his character serves as a potent metaphor for societal ills and personal failings. Through these modern interpretations, Belfagor remains relevant, offering a lens through which to examine the ethical dilemmas and existential questions of our time. Ultimately, the historical and cultural depictions of Belfagor reveal a timeless fascination with the darker aspects of human nature. His story resonates with themes of temptation, moral ambiguity, and the enduring struggle between spiritual enlightenment and worldly desires. As we confront the complexities of our own existence, Belfagor stands as a haunting reminder of the dangers that lurk within the shadows of our souls, a reminder to tread carefully on the path to self-discovery and moral integrity. In the vast tapestry of human virtues and vices, Sloth stands as a shadowy figure, often overlooked yet profoundly impactful in its implications. This allegorical representation of sloth and spiritual apathy delves into the depths of human psyche, revealing layers of emotional resonance and moral introspection. Imagine a world where time stands still, where the sun rises and sets without stirring the hearts of men and women. This is the realm of sloth, where inertia grips the soul in a vice of lethargy, rendering even the simplest tasks insurmountable. It begins subtly, a whisper of procrastination in the mind, a delay that promises fleeting comfort but exacts a heavy toll on the spirit. Historically, sloth has been castigated as one of the 7 deadly sins, a moral failing that undermines productivity, purpose, and spiritual growth. Its allegorical representation transcends religious doctrine, resonating across cultures and epochs as a cautionary tale against complacency and indifference. In art and literature, Sloth emerges as a figure of moral ambiguity, depicted often as a lethargic figure draped in inertia, oblivious to the passage of time and opportunity. Cultural depictions of sloth mirror societal anxieties about productivity and ambition. In medieval allegories, sloth was personified as a sluggish figure beset by demons of distraction, tempting the idle with visions of ease and comfort. These narratives served as moral lessons, urging diligence and perseverance in the face of life's challenges. Literary works have also explored sloth's psychological dimensions, portraying characters who wrestle with internal battles against inertia and procrastination. These narratives evoke empathy and introspection, prompting readers to confront their own vulnerabilities and motivations. Through the lens of allegory, sloth becomes a mirror reflecting the human condition, a reminder of the fragility of resolve and the allure of passive surrender. Spiritual apathy, closely intertwined with sloth, manifests as a lack of zeal for spiritual growth and moral integrity. It is a state where the soul languishes in indifference, disconnected from higher aspirations and ethical responsibilities. Allegorical representations of spiritual apathy depicted as a numbing force, dulling the senses to the beauty of spiritual enlightenment and the urgency of ethical action. In religious teachings, spiritual apathy is condemned as a perilous state, a betrayal of one's potential for moral excellence and spiritual fulfillment. Allegories caution against the dangers of spiritual neglect, warning that complacency can erode the soul's capacity for compassion, empathy, and transcendence. Through allegory, spiritual apathy emerges as a poignant reminder of the transformative power of spiritual engagement and ethical awareness. Artistic representations of sloth and spiritual apathy evoke visceral responses, stirring emotions of regret, longing, and existential questioning. Paintings and sculptures capture the desolation of sloth, depicting figures lost in reverie or consumed by mundane distractions. These artworks invite viewers to contemplate the consequences of inertia and spiritual neglect, urging them to reevaluate their priorities and embrace a life of purpose and meaning. In contemporary culture, allegorical representations of sloth and spiritual apathy continue to resonate, offering insights into the complexities of human motivation and moral decision-making. Through literature, film, and visual art, these allegories provoke contemplation and dialogue about the virtues of diligence, perseverance, and spiritual vigilance. Ultimately, the allegorical representations of sloth and spiritual apathy transcend mere moral lessons. They invite us to confront our deepest fears and aspirations, challenging us to strive for excellence in both worldly pursuits and spiritual endeavors. As we navigate the labyrinth of human experience, these allegories serve as guiding lights, illuminating the path to personal growth, moral integrity, and spiritual fulfillment. In the age-old tapestry of myth and folklore, there exists a figure whose presence invokes both fascination and fear, a character whose name resonates through the corridors of history, Belfagor. This modern interpretation of Belfagor unveils a narrative that stretches across time, blending ancient tales with contemporary insights, stirring emotions and prompting reflection on the human condition. Belfagor, often depicted as a demon of indulgence and decadence, embodies the allure of excess and the perilous seduction of material wealth. In modern interpretations, Belfagor emerges not merely as a mythical antagonist, but as a symbolic representation of societal obsessions and individual desires. Like a dark mirror reflecting our deepest yearnings and vulnerabilities, Belfagor beckons with promises of instant gratification and unbridled pleasure. Imagine a world where the pursuit of wealth and luxury consumes the soul, where every desire is fulfilled at the cost of spiritual impoverishment. This is the realm of Belfagor, a realm where the relentless pursuit of material gain blinds humanity to its higher aspirations and moral responsibilities. In this narrative, Belfagor stands as a cautionary figure, a reminder of the pitfalls of unchecked ambition and the hollow promises of materialism. Historically, Belfagor has been referenced in various mythological and religious texts, often portrayed as a demon who tempts humans with wealth and prosperity in exchange for their souls. These allegorical tales serve as moral parables, warning against the dangers of greed and the corrupting influence of material possessions. Through the ages, Belfagor's character has evolved, adapting to the cultural anxieties and aspirations of each era. In contemporary culture, Belfagor's relevance persists, resonating with themes of consumerism, capitalism, and the relentless pursuit of status and wealth. Modern interpretations explore Belfagor not only as a supernatural entity but as a psychological archetype, a symbol of our collective fascination with success and the sacrifices made in its pursuit. Literature and cinema often depict Belfagor as a charismatic yet malevolent force, tempting protagonists with offers of wealth and power. These narratives evoke a visceral response, stirring emotions of suspense, intrigue, and moral dilemma. Through the character of Belfagor, storytellers invite audiences to confront their own desires and ambitions, prompting introspection on the true cost of personal achievement and societal progress. Philosophically, Belfagor embodies the paradox of materialism, the belief that wealth and possessions bring happiness and fulfillment, juxtaposed against the spiritual emptiness that often accompanies such pursuits. Modern interpretations challenge us to reconsider our values and priorities, urging us to seek meaning beyond material wealth and to cultivate a sense of purpose rooted in empathy, compassion, and ethical integrity. Symbolically, Belfagor represents the shadow side of human nature, the darker impulses and desires that lie dormant within us all. By confronting Belfagor, we confront our own vulnerabilities and weaknesses, acknowledging the temptations that threaten to derail our moral compass and spiritual journey. In conclusion, the modern interpretation of Belfagor serves as a poignant reminder of the eternal struggle between materialism and spiritual fulfillment. Through allegory and symbolism, Belfagor invites us to examine our values, question our motivations, and strive for a balanced existence that honors both our material needs and our spiritual aspirations. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, the story of Belfagor continues to resonate, offering insights into the human experience and prompting us to aspire towards a life of meaning, purpose, and ethical awareness. In the vast tapestry of ancient texts and mythological lore, there exists a creature of unparalleled magnitude and mystery, a behemoth that stirs the imagination and evokes primal fear, Leviathan. This biblical titan, shrouded in symbolism and profound meaning, emerges from the depths of myth to challenge our understanding of the natural and supernatural realms. Imagine a creature of immense proportions, whose very existence defies the laws of nature as we know them. Leviathan, described in biblical texts as a mighty sea serpent or dragon, embodies the untamed forces of chaos and the raw power of creation. Its scales, impervious and gleaming, reflect the turbulent waters it traverses, while its breath ignites the night sky with flashes of lightning. Biblically, Leviathan is not merely a creature of the deep seas, but a symbolic embodiment of cosmic forces and primordial chaos. In the book of Job, Leviathan is described with awe-inspiring imagery. Can you draw out Leviathan with a hook, or snare its tongue with a line which you lower? His sneezings flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Job 41 verses 1 and 18. These vivid descriptions evoke a sense of wonder and dread, painting Leviathan as a creature of incomprehensible power and majesty. Symbolically, Leviathan represents more than a physical entity. It embodies spiritual and philosophical concepts that transcend its mythical origins. In Jewish tradition, Leviathan is viewed as a symbol of the forces of chaos that threaten the order of creation, while in Christian interpretations, it symbolizes the power of evil and the eternal struggle between divine order and worldly disorder. The symbolic meanings attributed to Leviathan are as varied as they are profound. In some interpretations, Leviathan symbolizes the primal instincts and untamed energies that dwell within each human soul, the deep-seated desires and fears that shape our actions and beliefs. Its portrayal as a sea serpent also suggests a connection to the depths of the unconscious mind, where ancient truths and primal fears lie dormant. Moreover, Leviathan's role extends beyond the realms of myth and symbol to encompass theological and philosophical discourse. It serves as a metaphor for the challenges and adversities that humanity faces, the turbulent waters of life's trials and tribulations that test our resilience and faith. In this context, Leviathan becomes a catalyst for introspection and spiritual growth, prompting us to confront our fears and confront the unknown with courage and determination. Culturally, Leviathan has left an indelible mark on literature, art, and popular culture. Its presence in ancient texts and oral traditions has inspired countless interpretations and adaptations, each reflecting the unique perspectives and beliefs of different cultures and epochs. From ancient Mesopotamia to modern-day literature and film, Leviathan continues to captivate audiences with its enigmatic allure and timeless relevance. In conclusion, the biblical descriptions and symbolic meanings of Leviathan transcend mere myth and legend to offer profound insights into the human experience and the nature of existence itself. As we contemplate Leviathan's awe-inspiring presence and symbolic significance, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth to illuminate the mysteries of life and inspire awe in the face of the unknown. Thus, Leviathan stands not only as a mythical creature but as a timeless symbol of humanity's quest for meaning, purpose, and transcendence in a world filled with wonder and mystery. Imagine a world where the seas roil with ancient creatures, where mythic beasts rise from the depths to challenge the very fabric of existence. In this realm of comparative mythology, one figure stands as a colossal testament to the universality of human imagination and the shared fears and aspirations of civilizations across time and space: Leviathan. From the biblical narratives of ancient Israel to the epic tales of Mesopotamia and beyond, Leviathan emerges as a primordial force, a sea serpent of unparalleled magnitude and symbolic weight. Its presence resonates through diverse cultures, each imbuing it with unique meanings and interpretations that reflect their own existential quests and cultural paradigms. In Mesopotamian mythology, Leviathan finds its counterpart in Tiamat, the chaotic sea goddess whose battle with the god Marduk gave birth to the world. Tiamat, like Leviathan, embodies the primordial chaos from which creation emerges, a testament to the Mesopotamian worldview that sees the cosmos as a perpetual struggle between order and chaos, creation and destruction. Across ancient cultures, from Canaanite myths to Phoenician legends, Leviathan takes on varying forms and roles, yet its essence remains consistent, a symbol of cosmic forces beyond human control, of the unfathomable depths of the sea and the psyche, and of the eternal struggle between life and death, light and darkness. In Jewish tradition, Leviathan becomes intertwined with theological debates about the nature of evil and the divine order. Its portrayal in texts like the Book of Job underscores its role as a challenge to human understanding, a reminder of the limits of mortal knowledge in the face of divine mysteries. Christian interpretations of Leviathan further deepen its symbolic significance. Here, Leviathan represents not only the primal chaos that God subdues, but also the forces of evil and temptation that threaten human souls. Its association with Satan and the demonic underscores its role in Christian theology as a symbol of spiritual adversity and the ongoing battle between good and evil. Beyond religious contexts, Leviathan's cultural significance extends into literature, art, and popular culture. In literature, Leviathan appears as a motif of existential dread and the human struggle against overwhelming odds. In art, it is depicted in grandiose forms, its serpentine coils and monstrous visage evoking awe and terror. In modern times, Leviathan continues to resonate in philosophical discourse and ecological concerns. It symbolizes not only the untamed forces of nature but also the environmental challenges facing humanity, a reminder of our interconnectedness with the natural world and the consequences of unchecked exploitation. Ultimately, Leviathan's journey through comparative mythology reveals a profound truth that across cultures and epochs, humanity has sought to understand and confront the mysteries of existence through symbolic narratives and mythic archetypes. Leviathan, with its primal essence and universal symbolism, invites us to contemplate our place in the cosmos and the eternal quest for meaning and transcendence. As we gaze upon the mythic contours of Leviathan's tale, we are reminded of our shared humanity and the enduring power of myth to illuminate the human condition. In its vastness and complexity, Leviathan beckons us to explore the depths of our own souls and the mysteries that lie beyond, inviting us to confront our fears and aspirations with courage and humility. Imagine a concept so profound that it stretches the boundaries of human understanding, weaving through the fabric of philosophy and theology alike. The Leviathan, that ancient sea serpent of myth and symbol, continues to captivate minds with its philosophical and theological implications. In philosophical discourse, Leviathan emerges as a metaphorical giant, symbolizing the enormity of existential questions that have perplexed humanity since time immemorial. It embodies the complexity of human nature and the universe itself, a creature of such scale and power that it defies easy categorization or comprehension. Philosophers throughout history have grappled with Leviathan as a symbol of chaos versus order, of the unknown versus the known, and of the limits of human knowledge in the face of cosmic mysteries. At the heart of Leviathan's philosophical resonance lies its dual nature, a creature of the deep, where light struggles against darkness, and where life dances with death. This duality mirrors the fundamental dichotomies of existence, creation and destruction, freedom and constraint, hope and despair. Through Leviathan, philosophers explore the depths of human consciousness, questioning our place in the universe and the nature of our moral and existential dilemmas. Theological implications of Leviathan are equally profound, intertwining with narratives of divine providence and the eternal struggle between good and evil. In biblical texts, Leviathan represents not just a monstrous sea creature, but a cosmic adversary, a symbol of the forces that challenge divine order and human righteousness. Its portrayal as a creature subdued by God in the Old Testament underscores its role in theological discourse as a reminder of divine sovereignty over the natural and supernatural realms. Christian theology further develops Leviathan's significance, aligning it with Satan and the powers of darkness that oppose God's kingdom. Here, Leviathan becomes a figure of spiritual adversity, a metaphor for the temptations and trials that test human faith and virtue. Its inclusion in apocalyptic literature, such as the Book of Revelation, symbolizes the final defeat of evil and the ultimate triumph of divine justice. Beyond religious texts, Leviathan's theological implications extend into moral and ethical debates. It prompts questions about the origins of evil, the nature of suffering, and the divine purpose in a world marked by turmoil and uncertainty. Its mythic presence challenges believers to confront the complexities of faith and the enduring quest for spiritual enlightenment amid the trials of mortal existence. In modern theological thought, Leviathan continues to inspire contemplation on ecological stewardship and the ethical responsibilities of humanity towards the natural world. Its symbolic resonance with environmental concerns underscores the interconnectedness of theological reflection and planetary well-being. A call to preserve the delicate balance of creation and to respect the divine wisdom inherent in the natural order. As we reflect on Leviathan's philosophical and theological implications, we are drawn into a profound meditation on the mysteries of existence and the enduring quest for meaning and truth. Its symbolic presence resonates across cultures and epochs, inviting us to contemplate our place in the cosmos and our relationship with the divine. Leviathan, with its majestic yet enigmatic presence, challenges us to embrace the complexities of our beliefs and to seek spiritual insight amidst the vastness of the universe. In its philosophical and theological dimensions, Leviathan stands as a testament to the enduring power of myth and symbol to provoke thought, inspire awe, and awaken the deepest stirrings of the human soul. As we confront the existential questions it embodies, we are reminded of the boundless capacity of the human spirit to explore, to question, and to find solace in the quest for truth and understanding. In the shadowy expanse of ancient Jewish lore, a name echoes with a resonance that chills the soul: Azazel. This enigmatic figure weaves through the fabric of sacred texts and ancient beliefs, casting a haunting presence that stirs the imagination and pierces the heart. Azazel appears in the book of Leviticus, within the solemn rites of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Here, 2 goats stand before the high priest, their fates intertwined with the sins of the people. One goat, chosen by lot for the Lord, is sacrificed, its blood a symbol of purification. The other, designated for Azazel, carries the weight of the community's sins. This scapegoat is led into the wilderness, a desolate place where Azazel dwells. The ritual is both profound and harrowing, embodying a collective yearning for forgiveness and the stark reality of sin's burden. The wilderness, an untamed and forbidding realm, becomes the domain of Azazel. It is a place beyond the boundaries of civilization, where the familiar dissolves into the unknown. In this barren expanse, the scapegoat roams, bearing the transgressions of a people seeking redemption. The very name of Azazel invokes a sense of desolation, a reminder of the spiritual exile brought on by sin. Ancient Jewish beliefs about Azazel are shrouded in mystery, their origins traced to texts like the Book of Enoch. Here, Azazel is depicted as a fallen angel, a leader among the rebellious watchers who descended to earth and corrupted humanity. He is portrayed as a bringer of forbidden knowledge, teaching humans the arts of warfare and seduction, and unveiling secrets meant to remain hidden. This transgression leads to chaos and moral decay, drawing humanity away from the divine path. The image of Azazel as a corrupting force is vivid and unsettling. He stands as a symbol of defiance against divine order, a being whose influence sows discord and destruction. In the ancient Jewish imagination, Azazel's rebellion is not just an act of disobedience, but a cosmic rift that disrupts the harmony between heaven and earth. His presence in the wilderness, a place of spiritual barrenness, reflects the isolation and alienation that sin brings. The ritual of the scapegoat and the association with Azazel evoke deep emotional currents. The act of transferring sins onto the goat and sending it away is both a release and a reminder, a release from the weight of guilt and a reminder of the cost of atonement. The wilderness becomes a metaphor for the spiritual journey, a place where one confronts the darkness within and seeks the light of forgiveness. In the collective memory of the Jewish people, Azazel's tale resonates with themes of struggle and redemption. It speaks to the human condition, the eternal battle between good and evil, and the hope for reconciliation with the divine. The scapegoat ritual, with its stark imagery and profound symbolism, captures the essence of this struggle, offering a path to purification and renewal. Azazel's story also reflects the broader narrative of exile and return, a recurring motif in Jewish history and theology. The wilderness, as a place of both punishment and purification, mirrors the experiences of exile faced by the Jewish people. It is a place where one is stripped of all but faith, where the soul is laid bare, and where the journey back to the divine presence begins. As we ponder the scriptural references and ancient beliefs about Azazel, we are drawn into a tapestry of myth and meaning, where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine blur. Azazel's story, with its haunting imagery and profound themes, invites us to explore the depths of human nature, the consequences of sin, and the possibility of redemption. In the heart of this ancient narrative lies a timeless truth, the struggle to overcome darkness and find light, to confront our inner demons and seek the grace of the divine. Azazel, with his enigmatic presence, stands as a reminder of this eternal quest, a beacon in the wilderness guiding us toward a path of atonement and renewal. In the shadows of ancient rituals, a name rises that stirs the soul and echoes through the ages, Azazel. As the scapegoat bears the weight of a community's sins into the wilderness, the ritual captures a profound human longing for redemption and the haunting presence of Azazel, the enigmatic figure who embodies both sin and salvation. The Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur, is the most solemn day in the Jewish calendar. On this sacred day, the high priest casts lots over two goats, one for the Lord, destined for sacrifice, and the other for Azazel, burdened with the collective sins of the people. This goat, sent into the wilderness, carries with it the hopes and fears of a nation seeking to cleanse itself from wrongdoing. The ritual is not just an act of expiation, but a deeply symbolic journey into the human soul's darkest corners. Azazel, the name whispered with reverence and fear, is more than a scapegoat's destination. He is a figure woven into the fabric of ancient Jewish mysticism and theology. In the wilderness, a desolate and unforgiving landscape, Azazel resides. This barren place represents spiritual desolation, where sins are cast away, never to return, highlighting humanity's constant struggle to overcome its darker impulses. The ritual of the scapegoat is laden with layers of meaning. It's an external manifestation of internal turmoil, a physical act that speaks to the need for spiritual purification. As the goat wanders into the wild, it symbolizes the community's desire to distance itself from sin, to purge the soul's darkness and seek the light of divine forgiveness. The act of sending away the goat is both a relief and a reminder, a tangible representation of sin's weight and the yearning for absolution. In the ancient Jewish imagination, Azazel was not just a destination but a powerful entity, a fallen angel who defied the divine order. The Book of Enoch paints a vivid picture of Azazel as a leader among the rebellious Watchers, angels who descended to earth and corrupted humanity. He taught forbidden arts and unveiled secrets meant to remain hidden, leading to moral decay and spiritual ruin. This portrayal casts Azazel as a symbol of rebellion and the dangers of straying from the path of righteousness. The symbolic act of sending the goat to Azazel in the wilderness takes on a deeper meaning in this context. It's not merely about removing sin, but confronting the very essence of evil and chaos. The wilderness, where Azazel dwells, is a place of uncertainty and fear, mirroring the inner landscape of a soul burdened by sin. The scapegoat's journey is a reflection of the human experience, a path fraught with trials and the constant battle against inner demons. The ritual's emotional resonance lies in its raw depiction of human frailty and the quest for redemption. It's a communal act that acknowledges the collective nature of sin and the shared responsibility for seeking forgiveness. As the community watches the goat disappear into the wilderness, there's a collective sigh of relief, a moment of catharsis that cleanses the soul and renews the spirit. In the symbolic context, Azazel represents the embodiment of all that leads humanity astray. His presence in the ritual underscores the gravity of sin and the lengths to which one must go to achieve atonement. The act of casting sins onto the goat and sending it away is a powerful reminder of the cost of redemption and the ongoing struggle to maintain spiritual purity. Azazel's story is also a narrative of exile and return, a theme deeply rooted in Jewish history and theology. The wilderness, as a place of banishment, reflects the broader experience of the Jewish people's exiles and their enduring hope for return and restoration. The scapegoat ritual, with its stark imagery and profound symbolism, encapsulates this journey, a path from sin to salvation, from exile to homecoming. The figure of Azazel, with his dark allure and rebellious spirit, serves as a warning and a guide. He is a reminder of the dangers of temptation and the necessity of vigilance in the spiritual journey. Yet, he also represents the possibility of overcoming these challenges, of finding light in the darkest places and hope in the midst of despair. The interpretations of Azazel in ritual and symbolic contexts reveal the depth of human emotion and the complexity of the spiritual journey. They speak to the universal struggle to confront and overcome one's inner darkness, to seek forgiveness and find redemption. The scapegoat ritual, with Azazel at its center, is a powerful testament to the enduring human quest for spiritual purity and the transformative power of atonement. In the quiet moments of reflection, as the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, the story of Azazel and the scapegoat lingers in the mind. It's a tale of sin and redemption, of darkness and light, that continues to resonate through the ages. As the scapegoat disappears into the wilderness, it carries with it the hopes and fears of countless generations, a testament to the enduring power of ritual and the timeless quest for spiritual renewal. In a world where ancient rituals blend with modern interpretations, the name Azazel continues to evoke mystery and awe. The whispers of the past collide with contemporary thought, giving rise to new meanings and deeper understandings. Azazel, once a figure of dread and reverence, now takes on fresh symbolic functions that resonate with today's seekers of truth and redemption. Azazel's tale is rooted in the ancient practice of the Day of Atonement, where a goat, laden with the sins of the people, was sent into the wilderness. This act of expiation has been etched into the collective memory, a ritual both stark and profound. In modern times, this narrative has evolved, taking on new layers of meaning that reflect contemporary struggles and aspirations. Today, Azazel is often seen as a symbol of the scapegoat, not just in a ritualistic sense, but in the broader context of societal and personal blame. In an age where accountability is often deflected, the concept of the scapegoat becomes painfully relevant. Azazel embodies the darker aspects of human nature that society seeks to offload onto others, a practice that perpetuates cycles of guilt and punishment. In the realm of psychology, Azazel represents the shadow self, the parts of us that we reject and project onto others. Carl Jung's exploration of the shadow speaks to this ancient figure's modern significance. Azazel, as the receiver of the community's sins, mirrors the process of confronting and integrating our own hidden darkness. This confrontation is not about casting away parts of ourselves, but about acknowledging and transforming them. Azazel's symbolic function in this context is a call to inner reconciliation and wholeness. In literature and art, Azazel has been reinterpreted as a figure of rebellion and defiance. He embodies the struggle against oppressive systems and the fight for individual freedom. This reimagining resonates deeply in a world where voices are rising against injustice and inequality. Azazel, the fallen angel who defied divine order, becomes a symbol of resistance and the quest for personal sovereignty. Moreover, Azazel's modern reinterpretations extend to environmental and ecological discourses. As humanity grapples with the consequences of its actions on the planet, the scapegoat ritual takes on a new dimension. Azazel, the recipient of collective sin, symbolizes the earth bearing the brunt of human excess and negligence. The wilderness into which the scapegoat is sent becomes a metaphor for the neglected and exploited natural world. This interpretation calls for a collective reckoning and a commitment to healing the earth. The resurgence of interest in Azazel also finds expression in contemporary spirituality. For many, Azazel represents the complexities of the human soul, the interplay of light and darkness, sin and redemption. This nuanced view moves beyond the dichotomy of good and evil, embracing the fullness of the human experience. In this light, Azazel is not merely a figure of fear, but a guide through the labyrinth of the soul, helping individuals navigate their own moral landscapes. In popular culture, Azazel's image has been adapted into various forms of media, from films to video games. These portrayals often highlight his enigmatic nature and his role as an agent of chaos and transformation. While these depictions vary, they all tap into the enduring fascination with Azazel's dual nature, both a harbinger of destruction and a catalyst for change. In religious and philosophical circles, discussions about Azazel often center on the themes of atonement and forgiveness. In a world where guilt and shame are pervasive, the idea of transferring one's sins to an external figure resonates deeply. Azazel's role as the scapegoat offers a symbolic release from the burdens of wrongdoing, providing a space for healing and renewal. This interpretation underscores the importance of compassion and understanding in the process of atonement. In the sacred texts of old, where every word breathes with divine mystery, there lies a name that sends chills down the spine: Belial. A figure shrouded in darkness and malevolence, Belial's presence in biblical references is both terrifying and profound. His story is one of rebellion, corruption, and the ultimate struggle between light and shadow. Belial's earliest mention can be found in the ancient scriptures, where his name is synonymous with worthlessness and lawlessness. In the Hebrew Bible, Belial is not just a single entity but a representation of everything that stands against the divine order. In the book of Deuteronomy, the children of Belial are those who lead others astray, away from the path of righteousness. This depiction paints the stark picture of Belial as the very essence of wickedness, a force that seeks to undermine the foundations of faith and morality. The haunting verses of 2 Samuel 23 verses 6-7 cast Belial in an even more sinister light. Here, the followers of Belial are likened to thorns, untouchable and destined for the fire. The imagery is vivid and chilling, suggesting that those who align themselves with Belial are beyond redemption, their fate sealed in the flames of damnation. This biblical reference underscores the severity of Belial's influence and the dire consequences of falling under his sway. As we move through the annals of history, the name Belial takes on a more personal and direct form. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, Belial emerges as a leader of the forces of darkness, a direct adversary to the sons of light. The War Scroll, one of the most famous texts among the Dead Sea Scrolls, describes a cosmic battle between the forces of good and evil, with Belial at the helm of the Dark Army. This portrayal elevates Belial from a mere symbol of worthlessness to a powerful and cunning leader, orchestrating chaos and rebellion against the divine. The New Testament also echoes the fearsome reputation of Belial. In 2 Corinthians 6 verse 15, the Apostle Paul draws a stark contrast between Christ and Belial, emphasizing the incompatibility of righteousness and wickedness. What harmony is there between Christ and Belial? Paul asks, driving home the point that Belial represents everything that is antithetical to the teachings of Jesus. This comparison cements Belial's position as a figure of ultimate evil, a force that stands in direct opposition to the light of Christ. Beyond the pages of Scripture, the historical context of Belial's name and influence weaves through the fabric of Jewish and Christian thought. In Jewish tradition, Belial is often associated with idolatry and apostasy. The ancient rabbis spoke of Belial as a seducer, leading the people away from their covenant with God. This interpretation resonates with the recurring biblical theme of Israel's struggle against the lure of false gods and immoral practices, with Belial embodying the ever-present threat of spiritual downfall. In early Christian writings, Belial's influence extends even further. The apocryphal text, the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, speaks of Belial in dire terms. Each patriarch warns his descendants of the perils of falling under Belial's influence, describing him as the source of all sin and corruption. This vivid portrayal reinforces the understanding of Belial as a personal and pervasive force of evil, infiltrating the hearts and minds of the faithful. The medieval period saw the evolution of Belial's character into that of a demon, one of the many fallen angels who rebelled against God. In the grim pages of grimoires and demonological texts, Belial is depicted as a prince of hell, commanding legions of demons and wielding considerable power. The infamous 17th century text, the Lesser Key of Solomon, lists Belial among its catalog of infernal spirits, detailing his attributes and the rituals required to summon him. This transformation from a symbolic figure to a tangible demon reflects the growing fascination and fear of demonic forces during this period. In literature and art, Belial's name continued to evoke dread and fascination. John Milton's epic poem, Paradise Lost, immortalizes Belial as a smooth-tongued deceiver, a master of lies and manipulation. Milton's Belial is eloquent and persuasive, yet utterly devoid of virtue, embodying the seductive danger of sin. This literary portrayal captures the duality of Belial's character, both alluring and deadly, capable of leading even the strongest astray. The name Belial, steeped in centuries of fear and reverence, resonates with the primal struggle between good and evil. His biblical references and historical context paint a portrait of a figure who is more than just a character in ancient texts. Belial is a symbol of the darkest parts of human nature, a reminder of the constant battle for the soul. His story, woven through scripture and tradition, serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk within and without, urging us to remain vigilant in the face of temptation and corruption. In the shadowy corridors of history, few names stir as much fear and fascination as Belial. A name whispered in hushed tones, Belial represents more than just a figure of myth and legend. He embodies the very essence of chaos and moral decay. His cultural perceptions and symbolic meanings stretch across time and space, weaving a tapestry of dread and reverence that speaks to the deepest fears and desires of the human soul. Belial's name first emerges from the sacred texts of ancient Israel, where he is depicted as a personification of lawlessness and worthlessness. The term itself, rooted in Hebrew, literally means without value. In these early references, Belial is not just a character but a force, an embodiment of everything that stands against order and virtue. The children of Belial, mentioned in the Bible, are those who abandon the path of righteousness, choosing instead to sow discord and spread corruption. This association with chaos and immorality forms the foundation of Belial's dark legacy. The Book of Judges recounts the harrowing tale of the Levite's concubine, where the sons of Belial commit acts of unspeakable violence. This chilling story underscores Belial's association with brutality and the complete abandonment of ethical behavior. In this narrative, Belial is more than a mere troublemaker. He is the very spirit of depravity, driving humanity to its most heinous actions. The sheer horror of this tale leaves an indelible mark on the collective consciousness, branding Belial as a harbinger of doom. Moving through the ages, Belial's image evolves, taking on new dimensions in various cultures. In early Christian texts, he is often portrayed as a demon, a fallen angel who leads others into sin. This demonic aspect of Belial is vividly captured in the writings of the early church fathers, who warn of his insidious influence. To them, Belial is a master of deception, capable of leading even the most devout astray. His presence is a constant reminder of the spiritual warfare that rages within and around us, a battle for the very soul of humanity. The apocryphal writings amplify this image, presenting Belial as a tempter and corrupter. In the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, Belial is depicted as the source of all evil, the one who brings envy, hatred, and bloodshed into the world. Each patriarch, in his final words, warns his descendants to guard against Belial's influence, emphasizing the pervasive and pernicious nature of his corruption. These texts paint a stark picture of a world under siege, where Belial's shadow looms large, ever ready to exploit human weakness. As the Middle Ages dawn, Belial's image is further solidified in the grimoires and demonological texts that proliferate during this period. The Lesser Key of Solomon, a notorious grimoire, lists Belial as a powerful demon, commanding numerous legions and capable of granting high offices and favor. This depiction cements his status as a formidable force in the infernal hierarchy, a demon whose influence extends into the very fabric of human society. The rituals and invocations detailed in these texts speak to the fear and fascination that Belial inspires, a testament to his enduring presence in the dark corners of the human psyche. In literature and art, Belial's symbolic meanings are explored and expanded upon. John Milton's Paradise Lost offers a masterful portrayal of Belial as a smooth-tongued orator, a being of incredible cunning and deceit. Milton's Belial is a figure of dangerous allure, capable of making the most abhorrent actions seem justifiable. This portrayal highlights the seductive nature of evil, the way it can masquerade as something desirable and reasonable, only to reveal its true, monstrous form too late. Belial's eloquence and charm are his most dangerous weapons, turning virtue into vice and leading souls to their ruin. The Renaissance and Baroque periods see a flourishing of artistic representations of Belial, often depicting him in scenes of debauchery and moral decay. These works serve as stark moral lessons, warning of the perils of falling under Belial's sway. His image, whether in painting, sculpture, or literature, is a powerful symbol of the destructive potential of unchecked desire and ambition. The artists of these periods capture the terror and fascination that Belial inspires, creating works that resonate with viewers on a visceral level. In modern times, Belial's symbolic meanings continue to evolve, reflecting contemporary concerns and fears. In popular culture, he often appears as a figure of ultimate evil, a demon whose influence can be seen in the darkest corners of society. From horror films to novels, Belial's presence is a reminder of the ever-present danger of moral corruption and the fragile nature of human virtue. His name evokes a primal fear, a recognition of the darkness that lies within us all. Yet, alongside this fear, there is also a fascination, a desire to understand the nature of evil and its place in the world. Belial's story is not just one of darkness, but of the struggle for redemption and the search for meaning in a world fraught with danger. His cultural perceptions and symbolic meanings offer a mirror to our own souls, reflecting our deepest fears and highest aspirations. Through the ages, Belial's image has shifted and changed, but his essence remains the same. He is the embodiment of chaos and corruption, a force that challenges the very foundations of order and morality. His story is a testament to the enduring power of myth and symbol, a reminder of the complex interplay between light and darkness in the human experience. In the name of Belial, we find both a warning and a challenge, a call to confront the darkness within and strive for the light. In the vast tapestry of human history, there are names that stir a deep, primal fear, and among them is Belial. This name, woven into the fabric of ancient texts and whispered through the ages, represents more than mere evil. It embodies the stark contrast between light and darkness, virtue and vice. The story of Belial, his role in moral and theological discourse, is one that pierces the heart and soul, evoking a profound emotional response that transcends time. In ancient scriptures, Belial is a figure shrouded in ominous mystery. His name, meaning worthlessness, captures the essence of his being, a spirit of pure chaos and corruption. The early Israelites invoked his name to describe those who strayed far from the path of righteousness. Belial wasn't just a symbol, he was a warning, a manifestation of all that could go wrong when humanity forsakes its moral compass. His presence in these texts is chilling, a dark force lurking in the shadows, ready to lead astray anyone who lets their guard down. The biblical portrayal of Belial is both terrifying and enlightening. In the book of Judges, the sons of Belial commit acts of unspeakable horror, showcasing the depths of human depravity. This narrative is not merely a recounting of events, but a stark reminder of what happens when evil goes unchecked. The sheer brutality of these stories leaves an indelible mark on the reader's mind, etching the name of Belial into the annals of moral warning. The message is clear: Belial is the antithesis of all that is good and holy, a force to be resisted with every fiber of one's being. As centuries passed, theologians and scholars grappled with the implications of Belial's existence. In the early Christian era, he was often equated with Satan, the ultimate adversary. Church fathers like Augustine and Jerome spoke of Belial as a deceptive and insidious force, capable of leading even the most devout astray. These interpretations were not just theological musings, they were urgent calls to vigilance in the face of ever-present moral danger. The figure of Belial became a focal point in discussions about the nature of sin and the necessity of unwavering faith. Belial's role in these discussions is profound. He is the embodiment of temptation, the whisper in the ear that says it's easier to take the wrong path. In the wilderness of the human soul, he is the mirage that promises satisfaction but delivers only despair. Theologians used Belial's image to illustrate the constant struggle between good and evil, a battle fought not on distant battlefields but within the hearts of men and women. His presence in moral discourse is a testament to the enduring power of his story, a dark mirror reflecting humanity's ongoing quest for virtue. The medieval period saw an expansion of Belial's influence in moral and theological thought. In demonological texts, he was portrayed as a prince of demons, ruling over the forces of lawlessness and vice. The grimoires and writings of this era painted a vivid picture of Belial as a corrupter of souls, a demon whose allure could lead even the most pious into damnation. These works served as both cautionary tales and practical guides for resisting temptation, underscoring the ever-present danger of moral decay. Artists and writers of the Renaissance and Baroque periods brought Belial's story to life in hauntingly beautiful ways. In literature, he was often depicted as a smooth-talking seducer, using his charm and wit to ensnare the unwary. John Milton's Paradise Lost offers one of the most compelling portrayals, with Belial depicted as a figure of immense persuasive power. Milton's Belial is not a brute force, but a subtle, insidious presence, embodying the danger of intellectual and moral complacency. This portrayal resonates deeply, highlighting the nuanced and often unseen nature of evil. In the visual arts, Belial was depicted in scenes of moral corruption and decadence. These artworks served as stark reminders of the consequences of abandoning one's moral principles. They captured the emotional and spiritual toll of falling under Belial's sway, using powerful imagery to evoke a visceral response from viewers. The artists of this time understood that the story of Belial was not just a distant myth, but a reflection of the ongoing human struggle against vice. As modernity dawned, Belial's role in moral and theological discourse evolved yet again. In contemporary thought, he is often seen as a symbol of systemic evil, representing the broader social and cultural forces that lead to moral decay. The name Belial is invoked in discussions about the corrupting influence of power, wealth, and unchecked ambition. His story serves as a reminder that the battle between good and evil is not just personal but societal, a struggle that requires vigilance and integrity at every level. Belial's relevance today is a testament to the enduring power of his story. In a world where moral and ethical challenges abound, his name serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the consequences of giving in to temptation and corruption. Whether in the boardroom or the halls of government, the spirit of Belial is a reminder that the fight against evil is never truly over. It is a call to arms, a plea for moral courage and unwavering commitment to what is right. In literature, film, and art, Belial continues to inspire and terrify. His image is used to explore the darker aspects of human nature, to challenge audiences to confront their own moral choices. The emotional impact of his story is as powerful as ever, evoking both fear and resolve. Belial's presence in modern discourse is a testament to the timeless nature of his story, a reflection of the ongoing human struggle to live a life of virtue in a world filled with temptation. Through the ages, Belial has been a constant figure in the discussion of morality and theology. His story is one of darkness and light, sin and redemption. It is a narrative that speaks to the very core of the human experience, reminding us of the constant need for vigilance and virtue. The name Belial, whispered through the corridors of history, is a reminder of the ever-present battle between good and evil, a story that continues to unfold in the hearts and minds of each generation. In the dimly lit corners of history, whispers of dark figures have always haunted human imagination. Their names echo through time, each one a chilling reminder of the battle between light and darkness. Among these figures are those whose tales are so deeply etched into our collective consciousness that they continue to shape our understanding of good and evil. These demonological figures, Azazel, Belial, Leviathan, and others, serve as potent symbols, their stories woven into the fabric of cultural and spiritual life. Azazel, a name that sends shivers down the spine, emerges from ancient Jewish texts. He is a scapegoat, quite literally, as he is associated with the ritual of atonement where a goat is sent into the wilderness bearing the sins of the people. This ritual, deeply symbolic, casts Azazel as the bearer of humanity's darkest deeds, a figure who absorbs and embodies our collective guilt and shame. The story of Azazel is not just about a demon, it is about the human need to confront and externalize our own sins, to find a way to live with the darker aspects of our nature. Then there is Belial, whose very name means worthlessness. In biblical texts, Belial is a symbol of lawlessness and corruption, representing the ultimate moral decay. His presence in the scriptures is a stark warning against the perils of straying from the path of righteousness. Belial is the tempter, the voice that whispers insidious suggestions, the force that drives individuals and societies towards chaos and destruction. His story is a powerful allegory for the constant battle between order and disorder, between the ethical and the immoral. Leviathan, the monstrous sea creature, represents the chaos that lurks beneath the surface of our world. Described in the book of Job, Leviathan is a creature of immense power and terror, symbolizing the untamed forces of nature and the unknown depths of the human soul. His writhing form, emerging from the deep, reminds us of the primal fears that reside within us all. Leviathan's tale is one of awe and dread, a reminder of the limits of human control and the ever-present possibility of being overwhelmed by forces beyond our comprehension. These figures, and others like them, have not just remained relics of ancient texts. They have evolved, taking on new meanings and roles in various cultural and religious contexts. They have been interpreted and reinterpreted, their stories retold to fit the changing landscapes of human belief and understanding. Each generation has found in them reflections of their own fears, struggles, and hopes. The enduring influence of these demonic symbols is profound. They serve as powerful tools for understanding the human condition, for grappling with the complexities of morality and spirituality. Demons like Azazel, Belial, and Leviathan are not just characters in a story, they are embodiments of the struggles that define us. They are the shadows that dance at the edges of our consciousness, reminding us of the ever-present battle between light and darkness within ourselves. In modern times, the symbolism of these demons has found new relevance. In literature, film, and art, they are used to explore themes of temptation, corruption, and the nature of evil. They challenge us to confront the darker aspects of our nature, to question the boundaries of good and evil. The stories of these demons become metaphors for the moral and ethical dilemmas we face in contemporary society. They are reminders that the battle against darkness is not just an external one but an internal struggle that each of us must face. Understanding these demonic figures in contemporary culture is crucial. They offer a lens through which we can examine our own values and beliefs, a way to navigate the complexities of modern life. The tales of Azazel, Belial, and Leviathan are more than just myths. They are reflections of our deepest fears and desires, stories that continue to resonate because they speak to fundamental truths about the human experience. The relevance of these stories today cannot be overstated. In a world where moral and ethical boundaries are constantly being tested, the symbols of demons provide a powerful framework for understanding the consequences of our actions. They remind us that the choices we make have profound implications, that the battle between good and evil is a constant and pervasive part of our existence. Reflecting on these demonic symbols, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance and self-awareness. The stories of Azazel, Belial, and Leviathan urge us to look inward, to confront our own demons and strive for righteousness. They teach us that the fight against darkness is an ongoing journey, one that requires courage, integrity, and compassion. The tales of these demons are not just stories of fear and darkness, they are also stories of redemption and hope. They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming evil, there is always the possibility of light. They inspire us to strive for a better, more just world, to resist the temptations that lead us astray, and to find strength in our shared humanity. As we continue to navigate the complexities of contemporary life, the stories of these demonic figures offer timeless wisdom. They challenge us to confront the darkness within ourselves, to seek out the light, and to remember that the battle between good and evil is one that we must all fight, each and every day. The enduring power of these stories lies in their ability to touch our hearts and souls, to evoke a sense of awe and wonder, and to remind us of the profound and eternal struggle that defines the human experience.